Right, are we good? Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat Live. Tonight we have coverage of Manchester City versus Tottenham. We'll also be keeping tabs on Arsenal Brighton, where Beth Mead has just put the Gunners in front. So we're keeping across all the action in that game. Our focus, of course, though, will be Manchester City versus Tottenham kicking off in 15 minutes' time. We've got a very exciting Friday night of WSL action, Harry.
Yeah, very much so. Love a bit of Friday night football, and I do think this is going to be a big night, as you say. Two very important games going on at the moment. I think a lot of stake between Arsenal and Brighton, two sides that are pushing towards those European places. For Man City and Tottenham, well, they both need a win for two different reasons. Man City want to make it 6 on the bounce and hold their lead in the WSL table. But Tottenham, I think they'd take 3 points anywhere at the moment. It's been a really tough start to the season for Spurs. And, away at the Etihad, it would be a big result if they could get something positive from tonight's game. You never know in football, but it's going to be very, very difficult.
Well, victorious last time out, and albeit in very fortunate circumstances against a very poor West Ham side. But it is something they could try and take momentum from. I do think this game will be out of Tottenham's reach, though. I think that City, the leaders of the WSL right now, are in a really good position. And so I find it very difficult to look past City winning today. But for Tottenham, it's going to be about trying to be defensively solid, which is something they really struggle with this season, but then packing a punch when they are able to come forwards, which we have seen them do quite effectively. And if we're trying to sort of play devil's advocate, look at how Tottenham could beat City tonight. City's midfield has been somewhat open, we saw against Arsenal, they're not very good at defending transition, City. So when Tottenham turn that ball over and they come forwards with speed, I think there's a good chance that we see Tottenham get some opportunities from those turnovers.
Yeah, as you say, Tottenham's attacking numbers compete with Chelsea and compete at the top end with Chelsea and City, and that is incredible. But when you look at the defensive numbers, they're some of the worst in the league, and that is their main problem. I do think you're right. If they can hit City when they don't expect it, hit City when they're out of shape and they're not prepared to defend, they can do that. The problem for Tottenham tonight is to not get dropped too deep. They've gone to a 5-back. Villaham's kind of admitted defeat and they've dropped deep. They've gone to 5 at the back, but they've got to make sure it doesn't drop them too deep. Hopefully, they'll be hoping that the wing-backs can push on and get them further up the pitch. But definitely, if they can hit Man City, when they're a bit caught out, then maybe they can get something. But the main aim for Tottenham is don't get pegged back onto your goal line, because if not, it will just be inevitable for when City are going to score.
Well, you mentioned there some lineups, so let's have a look then at the teams for tonight. We'll start with Manchester City. We are, by the way, at the Etihad Stadium. The first time I believe that Man City's women's side have played there this season. So we'll start with the host. It's a 4-3-3 for Gareth Taylor's side. In goal, we see Chiara Keating starting again. No idea why Yamashita was dying. I think it makes sense to have Keating back in the side. It's in a back four of Kasparai, Kennedy, Greenwood and Uwahabi. That's full strength apart from Alexandra, who misses out through injury. In the middle of 3, it's as you'd expect with Jess Park, Yui Hasegawa and Jill Rord. And slight rotation as the front 3 as Virginio joins the usual partnership of Shaw and Hemp. Very strong. Are you surprised to see no Mary Fowler involved, or does it make sense in a game like this to give Virginio some minutes?
Yeah, I think it's for two reasons. Yeah, it's for 2 reasons. Obviously, as you say, good to see Virginio get minutes, and we know that Mary Fowler has only recently come back from a slight injury issue with herself, but she is back is the main thing. Not starting, but she's back, so that's good for City to have. But as you say, good opportunity tonight for Virginio to come into the side and try and get a goal or 2 under her belt and just get a good performance, link up with Shaw and Hemp, who this season have been absolutely phenomenal, as we expected. 2 phenomenal players, really delivering for Man City at the moment. I am interested to see how they're going to cope back without Leila Alexandri once again, but we'll see how they cope defensively. And Keating starting back-to-back games for the first time this season is stunning, to be honest. But it's happened, and that is crucial, really, for Man City.
Let's have a look then at the Tottenham side, the visitors, how they line up against the league leaders. In goal, it's Rebecca Spencer, a back 5, as you mentioned, of Morris, Bartrip, Hunt, Beulah and Neville. Across the 4, it's going to be Jess Naz one side, Wimberg the other, and a pivot of Spence and Summonen, and leading the line, Beth England. Now, that's how it looks to play. Would you be surprised seeing Naz through the middle to try and counter-attack tonight and England on the right-hand side, or do you think it will be England leading the line, trying to hold that ball up?
It's a weird. I think from what we've seen and from what we know how Tottenham play, you'd expect it to be Naz leading the line for the pace and England out on the right hand side. I still think that's bizarre to put Beth England on the right hand side. I don't really understand. I get why you want to be pacey in behind, but Beth England's one of the best finishers in the league, and to put her out on the right perhaps weakens her quality a little bit. But I understand why Tottenham have gone so deep tonight. They want to absorb pressure and they want to hit City fast, but I'm going to be intrigued how it could play. Morris comes back into the side. Interesting to see how she does. She's only played two other WSL games this season. And Ashnell has had a shocker this season. So what do? You put her on her weaker side just to see what's going to happen. So that will be interesting to see how that plays out. She's had a better game, but Tottenham just have to look more solid defensively today. Even if they lose, have to look more on it defensively, and they have to look organised, really.
I'll be honest though, I think Ashnell will defend better on the left-hand side. I think we've seen this quite a few times with the players that are quite erratic. If you put them on the side where they are less favourable, with a less favourable foot, so obviously you tend to put right-foot players at right back, left-foot players at left back. I think when you inverse that, because it's not quite as going through the motions, that sort of you do think about it a bit more, and it can bring out the best in certain players.
That's true.
I can see why they could do that. What does surprise me, and I get the 5 back because you're playing against Manchester City, what does surprise me though is choosing to go with a double pivot rather than keeping that midfield 3. Because for me, your wingers are either going to have to be so high so they can pose a transitional threat, or so deep to pack in. It's going to be a lot of running. What I would have expected to see today is some sort of 5-3-2 shape, and you could have gone England and Naz as a front 2, and then Naz sort of making runs off of England trying to get that flick on, trying to bring the ball down and bring that into play, and then obviously the wing backs joining the attack. What I am surprised to see is the team that they're lining up with tonight, because I think it's either going to look like a 5-4-1, and I think Naz and Vinberg, or England if they play that, are good wingers. I don't think they're very good wide midfielders, and in this sort of system, that's how you'd expect them to operate. You know, in possession, they are going to be a front 3, but when Tottenham don't have the ball, you would expect them to drop in and form a 5-4-1. Now, that doesn't really make sense to me, because I think if you're clearing that ball away, England's a very good player if she's up there, and Naz is good at running in behind, but you've not really, you're asking a lot of Beth England there, because she's got to hold that ball up and wait for attackers to come and join her. If those attackers have just been in the defensive phase, it's going to be very difficult for them to suddenly transition, and I think that's where City can be hurt in transition. I think the best team we've seen play against City this season was Liverpool in their 5-3-2. And we saw in that game, because there was 2 up front, you could get Howe flicking it onto Smith, and Smith then making stuff happen. And for me, I think I'd have looked to emulate that if I was Villaham this evening. It's going to be interesting to see how they play. Again, I think, in transition, I can see why you're using Vinberg, but it's a weird game to throw her into. To just not really give her a chance in any other games, and then suddenly throw her in for City.
Well, she did.
That doesn't really make much sense.
Well, she started the Chelsea game as well, and that was a bizarre one to play.
But then she didn't. I don't think she played West Ham, did she?
I think I can't remember now. But it's one of those where the problem. What's happening is Villaham's it's not been going right. Villaham's now trying new things, and they're not working. They're not working either.
She did play West Ham, to be fair, but they started the season with Crystal Palace. She didn't even get on in that game. They played Aston Villa, who were struggling. She played 4 minutes. They played Liverpool. She got a minute at the end, and then you throw her into Manchester United, to Chelsea away. Man United and Chelsea, both away games, by the way, to West Ham then at home, and obviously City away tonight. That is such a weird run to give Vinberg some opportunities. And I know it's sort of forced because of the injury to Hayley Raso, but Raso got injured earlier than that in the season, and they've tried other fixes. I don't get playing Vinberg in these kind of games rather than getting her opportunities in other games.
Exactly. I understand I understand you against United and Chelsea because you didn't really have much of a choice, but Raso's back tonight. So you realistically could have played Hayley Raso, but again, that's another awkward one to throw her into. You don't want to throw a player who hasn't played football in the last couple of weeks into the Man City away. Tottenham are in a hard spot.
On, and that could be interesting.
We might, but Tottenham for me are in a really difficult position. They've just got to play well tonight. Even if they lose, play well, take momentum from a good performance. They can't afford to have a bad performance. They're going to rely a lot on the back line to be organised. They're going to rely a lot on Rebecca Spencer as well. Signed a new contract.
Something they've not been able to rely on all season.
Signed a new contract in the week, though. Maybe she can prove why they've done that and be, have a really good game tonight. But it'll be very interesting to see what Tottenham team we're going to get tonight. Can they show up, and can they take a challenge to Man City? Or are City just going to prove too strong? That's kind of what you expect to happen. But I hope Tottenham can make a game of it and really push City to play at their best. Because City haven't at times they've had it easy this season, and they've still got it across the line. So I think the more competitive Tottenham make this game, it's going to be a better game.
Yeah, hopefully they can give a good go of it. I think, while they haven't played particularly well this season, Tottenham, there are good players in that side. I think, obviously, while the defence hasn't been very functional, their attack has worked. They have scored quite a few goals. I don't really know how, but it is working. And if they can execute their game plan successfully tonight, City aren't infallible, but it's going to be very, very difficult to take on a side like City.
The reason Tottenham score so many goals is because they've got the quality in those areas. The problem is they don't get... It's a weird one. They don't get into those areas enough, and if they're not scoring this season, it feels like they're conceding. If there's no other status of the game that Tottenham are playing, if they're scoring goals, they're letting them in. If tonight, if they can get the ball to Naz, get the ball to Beth England in the right areas, they will take their chances and they will put City in a spot of bother. So Tottenham have just got to try and cause problems today for Man City. If they can do that, this is going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, Yichen's just said it's Arsenal 3-0.
Wow.
What on earth is going on over there? So I can see it's 2-0 goals from Beth Mead and Caitlin Ford. No news of the third goal yet that has been mentioned in chat.
What a start for Arsenal.
I did not expect that. If I was going to place a prediction on that, I would have been going the way of Brighton based on form. Now, that is a big win. If they get it over the line.
That is a very good start to the game.
That's a lot of questions.
I mean, if you told me tonight that in one of the games, one of the teams will be leading 3-0 after 30 minutes, I wouldn't have said Arsenal-Brighton. I thought that would have been a bit closer. And, I mean, Man City...
I'd have been surprised if City had only got 3.
That's a bit... I mean, City... They've got to be ruthless tonight. I think that's what we need to see from City is they've played well. They've had some good performances, but they have the ability tonight to really put this Tottenham defence to the sword. If they can do that, I think they once again just prove that they can do what Chelsea do. They can play to the level as Chelsea.
Well, that's the thing I would say about Man City is that, they have shown a bit of fallibility this season. They have shown that they can be opened up by teams. Liverpool almost pulled off a big win. Aston Villa almost pulled off a smash and grab. There have been games this season where City have looked under the cosh. They've come through them all, and I think that is a testament to how good a side they are. But against a team like Tottenham this evening, who do have a lot of quality in attacking areas, even if they've not really shown it this season, I think they could be exposed by Tottenham tonight. Depends what we see from Tottenham. Goal, by the way, from Frida Marnham. She is now on a goal and an assist. Really good start to the game for Frida Marnham.
I took her out my fantasy sales team this week. So that's really good.
Yeah, no, she's doing really well as a consequence.
Brilliant. But yeah, Arsenal, that is a big win and a much needed win, you feel. They've really gained some momentum over the last couple of weeks since Eidevall left. And tonight, if they can keep going the way they're going, that could be a big result. And that could be a huge statement to the rest of the league.
Yeah, Tushi, welcome to the stream, saying, hello guys, love your channel, welcome to the stream. Thank you, and appreciate the really kind comments. But yeah, we will get into predictions shortly. In fact, we can do that now. There will be a minute's silence, but that gives us time to get in some predictions. If you are watching along, get involved in the live chat. Give us your predictions for today's game. But we'll start, as always, in the studio here. Harry, do you want to give us your prediction for today's game?
I'm going to go 3-1 to Manchester City. I think Tottenham will make a game of it in the first half, and then Man City will just start to run away with it in the second 45. I think Man City will take the lead through Khadija Shaw. I then think Tottenham will equalise through Jess Naz. We will go into half-time 1-1. We'll be all square going into half-time. But then in the second half, I think Man City, will do what they've done quite a few times this season. They'll come out and they will prove they're the better team, find 2 goals, and there'll be goals from, I'll go Jill Rord and I will go Chloe Kelly off the bench. So good 3-1 win for City.
I'm going to go for the same scoreline that City are going to win by every game this season. I'm going to say 2-1. I think it'll be 1-0 Tottenham at half-time, a goal from Jess Naz on the break. And then I think... So everyone at half-time will go, what's going on? Our Tottenham back, our City terrible. And they'll come out in the second half. Shaw will score twice, and it'll be Man City 2, Tottenham 1. And there'll be a bit of a nervy period at the end where Tottenham, look like they might get something, and they don't. I
think defensive errors could cost Tottenham today, but they might look more organised, and that would be huge because they've got the quality defensively. It is not a bad backline at all. It's just there's been too many errors this season that has cost them dearly.
Well, that's almost an oxymoron there because yes, they are considered good players, but this season they've not shown that.
That is true.
So they've got to up that performance level, and I query: is it individual errors or is it as a defensive structure they're just not organised? Because I think there have been times this season where there's been silly penalties because players have been caught out of position. There's been goals they could have caught players offside, but because they've not all moved up as a unit, that they are allowing for players to get through the lines. I think there are just little moments like that Tottenham have got to sort out. I like the Wilhelm changing up tonight. I think that could be a really crucial element because they didn't do anything different against Chelsea. And while they scored 2 goals, they really shouldn't have got either. You know, there was a weird fluke goal from Nilden that Hampton should have saved, and I don't think went over the line. I remain adamant in that until the end of the season. And then there was the Suriname free kick, which, you know, good free kick, but ultimately, did it make a huge difference? No, because they shipped 5 goals against their London rivals. That is a really damning result. They can't afford something like that tonight. Yeah,
and I think the issue for Tottenham as well is in the big games, especially is when the errors have crept in. You know, Ash Neville gave away a penalty against Liverpool. The Hunt gave away a penalty against Chelsea. Neville gave away another penalty against Manchester United. The errors for Tottenham have crept in the big games, and if that happens again tonight, they will end up losing once again. They cannot afford to keep making mistakes when they're up against the toughest opposition in the league.
And if it's Ash Neville again, I think the WPLL will be investigating her for match fixing because how does she keep giving away penalties?
It's crazy.
But no, I jest. We've got a few minutes now till kick off. Well, a couple seconds actually. Yi Chen saying, watching us game and listening to your commentary, that must be very confusing, but thank you for the support, Yi Chen. And Tushy saying, I want Spurs to win 3-2. That's an optimistic prediction.
Hell of a game.
I'm guessing you're either a Chelsea or Tottenham fan there. Tushy, and it's funny that you could be either or tonight. Or Man United, I guess.
And that's
they are in the title fight for now.
It's a huge toll. And, I mean, even if you're a side down the bottom, maybe you're looking at this from a relegation point of view.
Spence, thought that was the whistle to get us underway, but it's actually the whistle to signal a knee and a stand against all form of discrimination. But it will now be Drew Spence to get us underway and Tottenham get us started here at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City versus Tottenham in game week 7 of the 23-24 WSL season. A big one for both sides. Tottenham need to start getting some points under their belt. Manchester City need to keep winning to stay top of the league.
Yeah,
and obviously with Chelsea coming up next weekend, the biggest game of the season. Huge error from Hunt. Chance for Shaw. Will she finish it off? Yes, she will. 20 seconds in, and it's Manchester City 1, Tottenham 0. We barely had time to get a breath in after the kickoff before Khadija Shaw has scored a goal. It's Man City 1, Tottenham 0, and once again, a big defensive error has cost Tottenham.
Minute ago, go back 60 seconds, we literally said that Tottenham cannot afford to keep making big errors against the toughest opposition in the league. Claire Hunt, once again, dispossessed, and it's just... I don't know what she's trying to do.
There's 2 things I would say on this one. One, I don't think it's entirely on Hunt. Yes, she makes a big error, but that is a poor pass from Ash Neville. She's put under so much pressure with Shaw coming on. She deals with it horribly, don't get me wrong.
Why do you try and spin? Why are you trying to spin backwards?
I mean, Spencer, it's a pathetic attempt at saving it. But yes, a great goal from Khadija Shaw. And City 1, Tottenham 0.
Not even Spencer's an outstretched leg, not even much she can do. Shaw's always going to finish that every day of the week. And
try and narrow the angle of it
Tottenham are always... Tottenham are
coming forwards there. Beth England.
I've run out of words, to be honest, about Tottenham.
Just to deliver it, but Uahabi closes her down. And the ball down the line will be met here by Morris, but she got that one all wrong, and that's out for a City goal kick. Alex Sinclair's quickest goal ever. It's got to be up there, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Got to be up there.
Just shocking. Like, you get Tottenham will be in big trouble if they keep doing that this season. They really will. Yeah, we're 7 game weeks in, and I think, massive errors, errors leading to goals have probably cost them in 3 or 4 of those games already.
Yeah, Monteras saying 30 seconds late and missed a goal. Well, yeah, there'll be people in the stadium still getting their pre-match drinks, their pies, and they've already missed. Khadija Shaw opened the scoring. I mean, I think Tottenham fans should know by now, you need to be there from minute 1, because anything can happen.
Yeah, and the difference
really
is, unlike games when you play against West Ham and other teams, they're not just going to stick it in their own net to let you off again. It's just...
That's another error, and City have the ball high at the field here. It's out for a City throw.
Is this where Villar has to step in? For 7 games...
Well, he can't run on and...
No, but in 7 games, you have remained stubborn with trying to play out the back when you know that I don't think you have... The Tottenham defence has the ball-playing quality that Villarhan wants.
Yeah.
So at some point, you have to adjust. You can't keep trying to get your players to play from the keeper if they cannot do it. The reason Brighton, for me, I've been amazed, but clearly they've put work in over the whole summer. If Tottenham have put work in the whole summer and they still deliver this, then I think at some point you just have to admit you're wrong and just go back to playing long balls and hoping Beth England can score a hat-trick.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with Tottenham at the moment. You know, I don't think structurally they are too bad, but it's just so many defensive errors.
Yeah.
Individual errors that's causing them issues. Here's Firmino bringing that ball forwards for Manchester City then. Is there a forward pass on? No, and it's intercepted. And Tottenham could use this for their own gain here. Wimberg tries to take on Kasperai. Kasperai deemed to have fouled her.
Yeah, pull back there because I think Jespart stood on someone's ankle. But it's a really... I'm sure Villa you haven't... It's so early in the game that you can't go, oh, they've been the better side. Because no, we're 3 minutes in. Neither side's done nothing, yet City lead. Tottenham might as well have started the game 1-0 down. Yeah. And that is another really poor back pass from Claire Hunt that's made Bula have to track 15 yards back to get it.
And suddenly they're playing off their own touchline.
Yeah.
And it creates such an issue. They have played out quite successfully here, though. Here's Naz. Now England. England, simple pass inside to Summerlin, uses it. Now goes back to Bula.
And my problem with it is that, I mean, Spencer took a bad touch there and he rolled back over a goal line. But it's not even like a misplaced pass by a couple yards. It's misplaced by... It's miles off. Yeah. It's nowhere near the intended target. And I have massive questions over that.
Well, Shaw scored so early, by the way, that the Fantasy Silver Cell app hasn't even ticked over into this game week yet.
It's incredible.
A good start, though. Anyway, City in possession now. Greenwood. Here is Kennedy. Kasperai.
The one positive of conceding in the first minute means that you give yourself maximum time to claw it back.
That is true, and it can't get worse.
No.
So, I mean, they concede more goals.
You give yourself 89 minutes to equalise. That's the way to look at it if you're Tottenham.
Here's Hemp. Harvey. Greenwood. Now Keating. Kennedy in possession.
I do think that Alexandri's injury, in terms of, I think even if Alexandri was fit, I don't think she'd have played tonight, or she shouldn't have.
A ball through the lines and something for Lauren Hemp to give chase to. Bula will get there though, clears it into Lauren Hemp. And a chance for City to make something off this then. Tottenham packing their own penalty area will try and stop the ball in. Ball in from Hemp though. Park will try and meet it. Good defending in there from Hunt, and that's, well, while argued valiantly by Jess Park, I think may have come off Park. And will be a goal kick.
Oh, I'm not sure. I think that's a corner. It should be a corner. I think it is a corner.
Yes, I think it has now been given as a corner.
But I'll be honest, I'm slightly surprised to see this City side as strong. I thought they may have wrote, but equally, the problem is with Alexandria already out, with Miedemar already out, you've already lost a couple of players there. Yeah. In terms of who you realistically, you'd like rest Park or Rord for Miedemar. Miedemar's out, so you can't do that.
Claimed easily by Spencer. To be fair though, they will rest up in the week. They've got a Champions League trip. I believe it's a trip to Hammarby, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or are they hosting Hammarby? I can't remember now. But either way, it's not a game that they should be playing full strength in.
No.
And they'll rest up for Chelsea next weekend, I think, will be the plan. Because obviously if you rest today, then you've either got to play those rested players again. Hasegawa a chance, saved, but spilt by Spencer. But Spencer will be able to grab it again with no City pressure. If you rest up today, you've then got to play your full strength Wednesday. Or play rested, those rotation players, 2 games in 4 days.
Yeah.
So, or 5 days. Tottenham again under pressure in their own penalty area. More City shirts in that penalty area there than Tottenham shirts.
It's like they're playing... a game of mini football in their own penalty. It's like they're doing 3-on-3s in their own penalty area.
Tottenham's build-up's been so dysfunctional this season. You compare it to a team like Brighton, who, is really struggling tonight. I'll be going to watch that whole match back, I think. I want to know what on earth has happened there. But, you look at the way that Brighton have built up against a lot of sides this season, including Manchester City, and they were able to invite so much pressure on themselves, but play through it because they knew exactly what they were doing. Tottenham, they invite all the pressure and then don't know what their exit ball is. Because everyone, there's just a huge gap in the middle of the pitch. All of their... today they're playing that 5-4-1, so you've got about 9 players that are dropping back. And then just sort of England and Naz are staying forward, and Wimberg at times.
The thing for Tottenham is I think that Villa is trying to play like a side who should be in Europe, because that's where they were last year. They were in that top 5, they were in the top half, and they were on the cusp of getting into 3rd, 4th place. The problem is that I don't think they are a side of that quality. Yeah, and I don't think Villaham's realising that. He's trying to play like a top team. The disappointing truth for Tottenham is that I just don't think they are a top team. I don't think they have the quality in this 11. Without Clinton, without Bize, you don't have. I don't think you've got the players anymore to be a top team.
I think the players there are sort of scapegoating the recruitment because I get that they lost some big players, but. And obviously Hayley Raso is a very different player to those two, but they did replace Bize with Raso.
Yeah.
They didn't really replace Clinton, but they had Vinberg there.
Yeah.
It's just, I know they don't function the same, and I think a lot of their build-up relied on Clinton or Bize being able to sort of drive that ball through lines. A chance for City should have been finished off. For Gino with a gilt-edged opportunity, ball in from Casper. I couldn't finish it off. Still alive for City though. Uwahabi. Now Greenwood manages to pick out Hemp in the pocket.
Great tackle.
A crucial tackle from Barsham.
Yeah, but just on that Tottenham recruit, the problem is that Vinberg wasn't integrated until Clinton left, and now Clinton's left and Vinberg's not quite ready yet because she's still quite raw, and Raso has been injured for half the season already, so.
I mean, they've just got so many issues. The fact that they don't want to play England or Thomas through the middle because they don't have the pace is utterly bizarre to me.
I don't
because, get it. They're strikers. And I just don't understand that. I don't think their system, they've had to change system with the players they've lost. Now it's fighting away with Hasegawa here. The one bright spark really in this Tottenham team at the moment manages to pick out Drew Spence the pass. Spence has a backwards pass to Neville, but Tottenham can make it work from here. Neville, Summerlin.
I think the other problem is they lack a high quality defender for me. I don't look at.
Not even a high quality defender, someone more like a leader, someone who can organise that back line. Here is Bartrip, who finds herself high up the field. Now Neville, Summerlin. Summerlin, by the way, I think ranked 3rd coming into this game for goals and assists this season.
Yeah, Summerlin
in the league.
And again, once they've got into attacking areas, they've looked good.
That is inflated by the Chelsea game where she picked up the assist for Nilden's goal, which, bit nice to call that an assist, and then obviously the goal.
Beth England there is trying to play it through to Vinberg, but I think she's just got to shoot again. It's one of those where it's going to be very difficult to get Vinberg in behind there. You're on the edge of the City penalty.
Keating's not played a whole lot this season. Test her.
Yeah.
Put her under pressure from the
She'll probably save it anyway. But
she's a very, very good goalkeeper, of course. But, give her something to think about. She's not going to be high on confidence. She's been dropped from first team contention for most of this season. This is a big opportunity, and while that can motivate players, it can also put a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah.
So why not try and compound that pressure and test her early on? Tottenham yet to have a shot, I think. Yeah. City, on the other hand, 4 shots, 2 of which on target, 2 big chances. Obviously, that chance a moment ago, 4 for Gino.
I mean, a shot every 3 minutes or so is going to put you on 30 come the end of the game, or 30 plus. So, yeah.
No surprise, they lead the league, I believe, 4 shots taken.
It's incredible.
Tottenham are up there, but I think Tottenham's, again, has been really inflated. You consider that they had, I think, 20 odd against Crystal Palace. They had a load in the last 10 minutes against Liverpool, but neither of them, both the goals they scored were handed to them. And nothing to do with the shots they were taking, the chances they were creating. So I think that, in that regard, their numbers are slightly nice, slightly considerate to Tottenham. Flattering, that's the word I was looking for. Roared. I mean, that was a misplaced pass inside. I was looking for Lauren Hemp, picked off in there by Tottenham, and Tottenham just don't know what to do with it. That's a forward pass there, and they just panic and end up going backwards.
Yeah.
Spencer.
City are they are just knocking the ball around because they're one that usually at the start of the game it's like, okay, we're going to push up and try and fight because they got the goal so early. Now they can just kind of okay, we've got the goal, we've got the lead, let's just play our football.
It feels a bit like Chelsea's season so far, where they're scoring a lot of goals, they're playing really well, but they're not. They've scored 1. The difference between City and Chelsea is that City are getting into this state where they're sort of relaxing, going through the motions. But what Chelsea tend to do is then have these little bursts or these moments later in the game where they'll go and put a load of goals past them, which City just aren't having at the moment. And it does just make the games a little more nervy towards the end. When you consider, it's small impacts, but the fact that they can't really rest players because the game is still open towards the end of the match. The fact they can't rest players anyway because they've got a smaller squad than Chelsea, or at least they don't have as much quality as Chelsea in depth. Here is Cardi, Greenwood, and I think they're little things that will add up over the season.
Yeah.
We've already seen Vivian Miedemar out injured. That's a big loss. Noemi Lazelle already out injured. Naomi Lazelle, sorry. So they're big losses.
And
Alexandria, another one, probably their best player, by Hemp and Shaw.
And hers is more fatigue related, to intensity related, in terms of she's played so many games that you're bound to get injured.
Well, she played every game, I think, for Spain at the Olympics, and they played in every game. Cause, while they didn't have the final, they did, of course, have that third place playoff. Here is Yui Hasegawa. Now it's Kasparov.
City are keeping Tottenham under pressure. They're not pushing for goals, penning them in, but they're just keeping the ball, keeping Tottenham deep, which means Tottenham just can't hurt them at all.
Yeah, but it surprises me somewhat. It feels like Tottenham are there for the kill.
Yeah, that is true.
Tottenham are a side with no confidence right now. And City could really take advantage of that. Here's Jill Roord looking to make something happen here in the Tottenham box. Lays it off to Lauren Hemp, who will try and deliver. Nice turn, and again sends the full back one way and the other ball into Shaw. Shaw scores! And that seems to be the outcome. Whenever you get the ball in the box to Khadija Shaw, she'll finish it off. Manchester City 2, Tottenham 0. And we were speaking just before that about how can City push on? How can City really compound their dominance? Well, that's exactly how. Hemp to Shaw, that link up once again. Man City 2, Tottenham 0.
Yeah, easy for Manchester City. Lauren Hemp just toying really with Morris. Just keeps going one with the other. And that that's the second time the ball's gone in there and caused issues, but this time Shaw, simple header. It
looked uncontested. I mean, this is brilliant from Lauren Hemp. Sends the defender one way, sends her the other.
Can't keep up.
And then there are so many Tottenham bodies in that box, and no one challenges for the ball. No one competes.
Hunt's got her arm on her, but she jumps after Shaw's headed the ball.
Her.
Yeah,
you're not going to get. You've got to put her under pressure in there.
I mean, Spencer gets a hand to it. Yeah,
it's a tough one. It's really close range, to be fair.
Yeah, but Shaw's having fun at the Etihad, and Tottenham look all over the place, and you see there, Beth England got the whole team in a huddle in their own penalty area to try and get something going, because if they don't get something going, this is gonna get bad.
If you're playing with a 5-back, you should never concede from a cross.
No,
because you have packed out the penalty area there with 2 defensive midfielders, with 3 centre backs, and that left back tucking in. There's so many players in there, and yet Shaw's got the space in there to get a header off.
Especially when it's one up front.
Yeah,
because even with the centre halves, it's 1 versus 3.
Well, I think City were sat on the edge of the area, so it looked like 5v1 in there, and Shaw's just found all the space in the middle of the box. Brilliant from Lauren Hemp, that should be dealt with, and then
but I mean that was the cross was different in quality. It's that Hemp kept going one way or the other, and Morris just couldn't keep going with her. Yeah, because that is just difference in class.
Well, the problem is she sees Hemp go one way, she goes that way, and Hemp is a more agile player, so she'll be able to keep going back and forth without getting caught out. Yeah, Morris,
and Hemp only needed a yard. She got herself a yard and crossed it in.
Yeah, did very, very well. Kobe Poulin saying 2-0 in chat. Shaw again. Who else? But Khadija Shaw. That's 6 now for the season. And a prolific record against Tottenham. There was a graphic just appeared on screen. Yeah. I think it was 10 goals in her last 5 appearances against Tottenham, 4 appearances, something like that.
I mean, last season at home, she scored a hat-trick against Tottenham.
She'll be looking to do that again tonight.
The away game, I think she got 2 in that absolute dismantling, which Tottenham got to be careful that doesn't happen again tonight.
Yeah.
But Man City, I mean, we're only 17 minutes through, and they've already found the back of the net twice.
Shaw's already brought me 18 points in Fantasy WSL. Brilliant start. As someone who's captained Shaw in previous game weeks and it's not been very fruitful, Harry, how are you feeling right now?
Bad, really bad. I took it off her and decided to go for a punt. I don't really know why I did that.
Against the Tottenham defence, they've shipped the most goals in the league by Crystal Palace.
I thought Lauren Hemp might score 4 like she has been.
Fair enough.
City have been... I think the attackers have been... It's a weird one because they haven't scored... Obviously, the problem is that City have done really well coming forwards, but when you compare it to the amount of goals that Chelsea have scored, it doesn't look as strong. But that's not a reflection on City scoring less, I don't think. I think it's more a reflection that Chelsea are just ridiculous in attacking areas.
Well, I think City have been about a goal off the pace in all their games, for me. I think that the Liverpool game is a game they should either be not conceding a goal like that and winning 2-0, or winning 3-1. There was so many chances in that game. The Villa game is one they probably should have won 4-0. They really shouldn't have conceded, really should have scored more. So City are doing well at the moment because they're getting results over the line. But it does feel like if you were going to predict who's going to slip up first, I mean, City have already slipped up against Arsenal. And I don't think they played very well in that game. Naz almost won the ball high here.
Yeah.
Kasparov will bail out Kennedy.
The problem is, Chelsea-Liverpool will be interesting because when you actually compare the opposition, Villa took the game to City. I think it's about who they've played as well. Exactly. Villa took the game to City and then took it to Chelsea. Everton, City might dismantle Everton. We don't know that yet because we don't know how Everton going to turn up. But that's the thing.
But the games you can compare, City so far haven't been able to match Chelsea in that regard. City drew with Arsenal while Chelsea beat them 2-1. That's the
only other game. The other one was the Villa game that was really close.
They both played Crystal Palace. Chelsea put 7 past them. City won 2-0.
4-0, wasn't it? This is the thing. I think it's the way the oppositions play against them. Palace was so much better against City than they were against Chelsea.
True, but
Virginia, that's a great ball.
That's a great ball, and that should be finished off. They're pinballing it around the box here. Jill Roord, and it's in. But it's an offside call in there for Gino. To be fair, can't have any arguments with that. She emerged from off the field.
I'm not really sure how Hem hasn't put that in initially.
No, this is brilliant from Virginia, and we've questioned at times her ability to create chances, her end product, but this is superb. You'd think she'll go to short here, but she tries that more complicated ball, lifts it over to Lauren Hemp. Hemp should finish. Instead, it's a ball that comes across the box. Virginia squares it. Really good finish for Jill Roord, but unfortunately for my fantasy WSL team, that won't stand.
I mean, how Jill Roord scored through 7 players and the goalkeeper, I don't know. And it's not a brilliant strike. Yeah, it's it let off for Tottenham there. Hemp really should have scored the initial one.
Yeah.
But it's just so easy for Man City. And here, look at it. No one is putting any pressure on them. Greenwood's just stood on her halfway line. No one's running at her. She could just stand there for the next 70 minutes and City will win this game.
Yeah. Spence finds Vinberg. There's loads of space to the right hand side. That's the wrong pass from Simonen. But it's then won back by Bartrip. Bartrip will find England.
Oh.
I mean, their decision making's cost Tottenham. Yeah. Simonen looks right there, plays that ball through. That's 2-1.
Yeah.
An experienced striker like Beth England would finish off that chance.
And it all came because of a bit of fight from Drew Spence. She fought with Hasegawa, won the ball off her, and it fell to Simonen, who just didn't even look up.
I will say, I think Tottenham have given Hasegawa a really tough game. I've seen Naz go and compete with her. I've seen Drew Spence put her under a lot of pressure. That's something we've not seen many teams be able to do this year. I don't think any.
Yeah.
Yui Hasegawa always looks effortlessly in control of the game, dictating the tempo. So far, Tottenham have done a very good job of putting her under pressure. The problem is they've let everybody else for City sort of run around.
Hasegawa tonight is kind of being used as the
I've never seen a pivot player man-marked.
No.
But
the problem with doing that is it leaves everyone else free.
Then tries to go through a whole host of bodies in there where we pulled back for an earlier foul on Chest. No, they're giving them a City way, I think.
I don't know.
That's a point in the other direction. Bit of a strange one.
But yeah, I do think City have looked very good. I mean, it's six. If they win this, it's 6 wins in a row. It's 6 wins out of 7, and I believe that if they had played Arsenal after match week 1, I think they could have beaten them. Simply because Arsenal got a whole lot worse and City got a whole lot better.
I disagree. I think if they played them after Idaval, they'd have beaten them.
Oh, yeah,
and that will sound controversial, but I think that Idaval made a difference in that game. Tactically, he got it spot on. Arsenal should have won that match. Tactically, Arsenal were better than Man City in that game. And this is the thing I say on Idaval, is while I get why they've sacked him because the results weren't there and I think he lost the dressing room, he was one of the best tacticians in the WSL.
Yeah, it was also brilliant.
Well, that is the issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you can't argue that on his day, he was brilliant. There's a reason he's caused Emma Hayes so much trouble over the year. It's because in those one-off games, in those head-to-head matches, he can cause a lot of issues, and we saw that in the City game. That game,
I would be intrigued. That's what I want. I think Gareth Taylor and Man City have proven consistency, but it'd be very interesting. Get them if they get to a domestic final. If they get deep in the Champions League, what are Man City like on a one-off game? They proved it in the group stage against Barcelona that they can get it right on one game.
Not as high stakes for me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, but it was a one-off game. I'll be very intrigued to see how they would fare because we haven't seen them in a in a cup final for a few years now.
No, we've only ever seen them sort of crumble in the semis.
Yeah.
We saw them lose to Tottenham in the FA Cup semi-finals, which they really shouldn't have. And we saw them lose to...
That was quarter-finals. They lost to Chelsea in the League Cup. That was that was 1-0 Chelsea, I think, or 2-1. That was a very close game.
But when you consider that City didn't lose Chelsea in the league last season, did they? It was a draw and a City win, I believe.
Yeah.
So, I can see they played Chelsea, tough game, but that's an opponent they managed to beat in the league. But when the pressure's on, when the stakes are high, City lost those games.
Yeah,
I think that's got to change this season. City want to be considered one of the best sides in England. They've got to start winning things under Gareth Taylor. Because United have under Skinner. It's the one thing you can't argue against. Skinner. 100 games in management, FA Cup title, second in the league.
I think that has to be one of the most fortunate FA Cup wins we've seen in women's football in a while.
That's harsh.
Oh,
the Chelsea game was very fortunate, but they were better side than every other game in the tournament.
Yes, because they played... who did they get in the semis?
Chelsea.
Oh, yeah, because they played Chelsea in the semis, and then they got this Tottenham side in the final.
No, because this was this different Tottenham side.
Even so, they got torn. I think they, to be honest, on the day, it was close. But yeah, I think Tottenham overachieved us again. They did brilliantly to beat City, but that was through a penalty shootout.
Well, they had Arsenal. They beat Arsenal at the Emirates last season. I know Arsenal missed a load of chances, but they did in every game last season, and other teams did lose to them.
Yeah.
So, FLB says not owning Shaw in fantasy is like not owning Haaland last season. Yeah, very true. 6 goals now in 7 games, the most in the WSL. Next highest is 3. So 6 volumes. About obviously that could be caught up this weekend if Carnegie was to score a hat trick or Seike. That would be a big second half for Brighton.
Yeah, I do think that Tottenham's overachievements last season perhaps make them look worse than they are this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, we expect them now to be able to beat the best sides in the league.
Well, also because they structurally looked really good against top teams.
Yeah.
And because they finished where they did and they reached the FA Cup final, that's all going to cultivate into a feeling that they should have been pushing on this season rather than taking a step back. I don't think it reflects particularly well on Villaham. This situation, if I'm honest.
I mean, he came in and looked brilliant last year.
And that's the big issue. I think it was an odd decision where they decided to go back from Votikova to Spencer because I thought Votikova looked better in the very limited game she got last season.
Yeah.
But especially the Arsenal game, she's absolutely flawless. Made some very key saves.
The problem is Spencer's in the quarter-final against City in the FA Cup. Spencer was absolutely brilliant in that game. Absolutely brilliant, both in the shootout and during the match. We haven't seen a performance of that level from her ever again.
I think she's been fairly poor this season, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't
helped. I don't like to bash players, but...
There's rarely a backline in front
of her. That is true. And when you consider both the shots she's faced tonight, they're very difficult to do anything about. A header from point-blank range because your centre-backs are letting Khadija Shaw, of all people, walk into the penalty area and head it home. And then the other goal, they played Shaw through on.
Yeah.
And that's 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Miscommunication there from City out for a Tottenham throw.
I do think Tottenham are in trouble this season because I think the sides below them, I think Aston Villa look better than the table suggests. I think West Ham don't look great, but Ueki can score goals and they look organised with West Ham look organised with the difference.
Depends how you describe trouble, because for me, they are at no risk of being relegated.
Because even West Ham looked better than them last week, and then come in.
Well, exactly, and I think Tottenham will bring it back at some point this season, because if they're in the same position they are now, come December, Villaham will be out of a job, and they'll be bringing a new manager, or at least they'll be putting a lot of money into the market if they really believe in Villaham.
Yeah.
So I don't think they'll finish up in this position. I don't think this season would have been one. They've lost some huge players. I don't think this season would have been one to expect them to push into Europe.
No.
So yeah, they'll probably be quite disappointing by the fans' point of view, but then they're at no risk of relegation. Yeah. And this will be a poor season by the looks of it, but they'll be back next season. But it's very early to write them off. There is still a lot of time, and they could turn it round, but at the moment it's not looking very positive.
I mean, tonight, City have been in control for the first 27 minutes.
Yeah, Chris Gamma in chat, welcome to the streams. Asked, do you guys watch the Men's Premier League? Yes, we do. We don't stream it on here. We did make videos on the football chat, and we may return to that at some point. At the moment, all our focus it really is on this channel. Though Kaspar's won that ball high at the field, could now look to get a cross in, tries to find Shaw, cleared away by Bartrip. they've clocked onto the fact, Tottenham, that marking Khadija Shaw might be helpful.
Yeah.
And that could change this game.
The clearances don't even get them out their third, let alone their half. The clearance falls to Hasegawa, who is probably 20, 25 yards out. Yeah, they're only clearing the ball 10, 15 yards. And that's just the problem is because they're so deep.
Yeah, who are they going to clear it to? They either play out from the back and they lose it because they're not very good playing out from the back and City have got a good pressing structure, or they clear it, and because Naz is their outlet, she's not going to hold it up. Brilliant footballer, but she's not great at hold up. So this is why I don't understand why England's running around on the right-hand side tonight.
Yeah.
At least if you play her from the middle, she can hold that ball up and be the outlet to play off of and try and bring Naz on the right-hand side and Vinberg on the left-hand side into the game a bit. If
I'm Villa, when you get this opportunity, even at half-time, just shoot. They haven't had a shot yet. They've had 37% of the ball. Not touching the opposition box. City have had 10. They haven't played off the park in every aspect, in every aspect of the game. Yeah, Kasparov goes back to Kennedy. Chris asks, where can I watch the game for free? Unfortunately, you can't watch this game for free. This is one of the TV broadcast picks for this WSL game week. So, wherever you are in the world, it'll be on your TV broadcaster. Whoever has the rights. Tushi says, watching Tottenham keep possession and not do anything with it is honestly something, and Neville is having a poor game. Neville's had a poor season, to be honest. I think if there's 2 penalties given away, that's a great tackle. So maybe we'll keep criticising us. Have a brilliant game. It's very rare they have the ball. You're right. When they have the ball, they do nothing with it. But the other problem is it's very rare they actually have the ball. Yeah. And while I questioned Fagino's involvement tonight, but now I completely get it. Because you're up against Ash Neville, who is an okay defender, but in terms of 1v1s is really poor. And so then you've got an opportunity for Fagino to take a player on who you can be fairly confident she will be able to beat 9 times out of 10. Yeah. And even if she doesn't beat, that's just going to keep building confidence. Probably give him a penalty anyway. That is true. And we've already seen Fagino get into some really good positions. She should have had an assist for Lauren Hemp, and no idea how Hemp managed to put that so far wide of the mark. And did have an assist for Jill Ward till that was ruled off. So I think it's a really smart decision to give her a game like this to really get her teeth into, really build some confidence, because there is so much space for her to exploit. Here is Fagino. Pass inside to Hasegawa. Slightly misplaced. That's brilliant from Naz to win it back up the field. Bartrip now plays it inside. Vinberg managed to find Bartrip again. I'm not sure what the plan is with Molly Bartrip playing midfield. No, yeah. I see. I've realised that it's not actually a fullback, is it? Not a 5-back, no. It is when they don't have the ball. Yes. Bartrip's dropping back between the centre halves. But when they've got the ball, just runs through the middle, playing as a roaming playmaker. So bizarre. We've got Artinen sat on the bench. Yeah. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I mean, I don't know how they end up in that scenario there, but Sapphire says it's free on the YouTube channel, only if you're outside of regions with a broadcast. So there are some regions that don't have a WSL broadcaster, so all of the games are available on YouTube. Here is Lauren Hemp now on this left-hand side. Can she deliver the ball for Manchester City? Tries to find Khadija Shaw. Shaw heads it wide. Poor. Yeah. Khadija Shaw should have found the back of the net on that one, but it's another great ball in from Hemp. It's another one where Khadija Shaw out-jumps Hunt. This time, though, the header's wide. It's the same thing. City might as well keep crossing the ball in, and they'll get a hatful tonight. Yeah. Because Khadija Shaw will just keep heading the ball in. But look at where you can only see 2 top outfielders in this shot from their own goal kick. Spencer's dropped in to receive it, but there are more City shirts than Tottenham shirts. Some of them. Tottenham now looks build down this right-hand side. Bueller. Nice football. Nice give and go in there between Bartrip and Morris. Now Summonen just fizzes it straight at Jess Park, but she's won it back there. Summonen skips past Hasegawa. Tottenham coming forwards. Goes wide into England. Can she find someone in the box here? Beth England wants to take on Il Harvey. Ball into the box. Vinberg can't quite get there. Chance for Tottenham. Goes begging. Yeah, I mean, it was initially good from Tottenham. Then it got very fortunate. I mean, Summonen just passed it to Park. Luckily, Park it fizzed off Park. And
Park was not expecting they'll just be hit at her.
Just and then some of them had loads of space because she could just run in and with the ball. But again, there you're playing the ball out to Beth England, who's then crossing it in. She hasn't got that agility to beat the player and cross it in. Just please, Wilhelm, put Beth England up front. It's frustrating to watch such a good striker put out on the right wing while Naz, your out-and-out winger, stands up front. So bizarre.
I know they've got two more left or players that favour the left-hand side, but you just ask Naz to do a job on the right-hand side tonight.
Yeah.
Or you play Naz and England as a front two, and you get another midfielder in there, and you stop having Bartrip pushing into midfield. That could also work. Here is Hemp.
Whatever you do, stop putting Bartrip in midfield and stop putting England out on the right-hand side.
Tushy says, the manager needs to change something. They can't cope with City at all. That is true. Wilhelm could make some changes to try and handle this City side. It's a very difficult task, though. We've seen sides prolong the inevitable, but most sides, bar Arsenal this season, have fallen to the City challenge.
But it's
Kasparai.
It's game management.
Back here by Neville.
You've been played off the park for 34 minutes. You haven't had a shot. Get your goal kicker to go down. Get someone to go down and make. It means you can have a team talk. Just manage the game. Slow it down. Make forced pauses in the game. Because at the moment it's just you're getting battered and you'll just keep letting it happen.
Yeah.
If you can't defend them against them on the pitch, bring out the dark arts. And that means when you have a throw it onto the pitch. I mean,
quite a key aspect, really.
Tottenham throw there and it hasn't come on. So bizarre. But yeah, hopefully. I don't really, but it'd be interesting.
Putting Kennedy under pressure here. One high by Spence, caught in the challenge by Kasparai. Ref sees no issue with that though. Shaw holds up that ball well, one back by Summerlin, and now turns and can bring this ball forward for Tottenham. Tries to slide that in behind for Nas to run onto. Kennedy will poke it out of play, but Tottenham starting to give City something to think about here. Starting to probe them with questions. Here's Neville. Wimberg manages to find Neville. Neville plays through to Naz. I think Naz has gone too soon. No, she hasn't. Ball in. Cleared up in there by Greenwood. Spence will compete. Gonna drop in there. Headed on by Morris. Flicked on by Beth England and into the grasp of Keating. I think I'd be generous to call that a shot. Yeah. But Tottenham, the first attack of the game for that.
Yeah, not bad football this. From Naz makes a good run. She's offside.
No, it's not there. Uwa Harvey ruled her on, it looked like. The rest of the line pushed up.
England should, I don't know why England's trying to fit it on.
Should have looked to flick it the other way towards Drew
Spence. Or
Spence.
just take a touch. Don't just relax. Get a shot away.
Love to see an overhead kick. That would have been good.
That would have been very good.
Greenwood. Switch of the play. Picked off by Drew Spence. That will fall into possession of Alana Kennedy. But that's straight back to Neville. Neville pass inside. Bartrip to Summerlin. Does well. Hasegawa puts all kind of pressure on Summerlin. And here comes City then. Shaw. A physical contest from Hunt, who can't really compete with her, and she barrels her down.
So smart.
As Shaw was coming forward.
That is brilliant from Khadija Shaw. She realises that she's struggling. I don't really know why, but she just backs herself into Hunt, and because Hunt's running, Hunt's always going to bring her down. Shaw taking the free kick over trying to run.
Well, I think they should have been looking to try and win a yellow card, because then instantly you make it very difficult for Hunt to do anything tonight. She'd have to watch it for another 50, 60 minutes here.
Yeah.
Which with Shaw is very difficult to do.
I think that could have been realistically should have been a yellow card.
Yeah, preventing a break, an attack.
Yeah, Greenwood and Park over it then. They've done a routine. Tottenham.
Greenwood towards the back post, flicked into the box. England heads it away. Hemp. Now Uwa Harvey strikes it and it's blocked. Hasegawa tries to recycle it. Touched on by Rord. Rord competing for it still. Neville clears it out of play.
Yeah, Tottenham dealt with that.
Maybe Beth England centre half, because she's just dealt with Shaw by winning the header.
Yeah. Neville thinks that should be her throw. Not sure how she got that conclusion. There is a conversation being had between Wilhelm and a substitute.
I couldn't see who there. It was obstructed by the fourth official, unfortunately.
That'd be very interesting. Potentially a half-time. We're looking at a half-time change for Manchester City.
For Tottenham, sorry.
Yeah, for Tottenham. Sorry.
Here's Greenwood. Now Hemp. Reverse it into Uahabi. Back to Hemp. And now a nice switch to the play into Kasparai. City just slowing it down. Turning that tempo down a notch as they look to just get in at the break now, I think. Last few minutes, Tottenham started to probe a little bit. And I think City will be keen to bring back control in this game.
No.
Kasparai, that's a poor pass. Chance for Tottenham now. Spence takes aim. That's not the right decision, but it does fall for Wimberg here. Wimberg takes aim, and it's just over the bar. Not bad from Wimberg there, that effort. Not a great opportunity. Spence has got to pass this, surely.
Yeah. But 39 minutes, and Tottenham had a shot.
2 shots.
Does this count? Yeah. Yeah, that's a shot.
It's a block shot.
Wimberg, not a bad effort. Keating saw it all the way, though.
At least the Spence one was going on target.
That is true. Yeah, not bad from Tottenham. They looked better last 5 minutes, but they haven't got anything to show for it.
Yeah. Here's Keating.
And even though they've looked better, if you ask me, will it be 3-0 City at half time or 2-1 City? I would say 3-0 City.
True.
It really didn't work. But yeah.
I'd say 2-0. We've had to have a...
Probably.
Yes. Kennedy now. Looks to switch the play with that lifted pass into Leo or Harvey. Now down the line. Broad. Back to Greenwood. Greenwood wants to execute that ball over the top or pass forward at least. Finds Hemp short though, who'll turn and create some space. Now Hasegawa. To Park, road challenge from Spence, which Park rides well, options left and right. Jess Park might keep going alone, tries to find Khadija Shaw through the lines. Neville sees it back to her goalkeeper though. And Tottenham regain possession. Got to look right there, surely Jess Park.
I think she could go alone. She's got to realise that the run here from Shaw is a dummy run rather than an actual run. The run there just opens up the space. Yeah. It was or just lay it into Hemp. I think...
Or to Raw arriving at the back post. So many options there. Shaw would be hard pressed.
The run from Shaw there was a selfless one, not one wanting a ball through. And that is another poor pass out the back, and Man City have it again.
Hasegawa. Back to Greenwood. Greenwood to Uahavi. Down the line now into Lauren Hemp. Hemp, great spin, gets round Morris, looks to put the ball into the box for Gino, heads over.
Should score.
Yeah, it's a big missed chance. Again, over for Gino.
Lauren Hemp is...
This is magnificent. Sends Morris one way, spins her and then breaks into the space she's created. Lifts that ball in for Gino, who just can't quite get over it.
Yeah, the pace is already on the ball. Just got to nod it on. Don't need to with that kind of header with the ball that Hemp's put in there. Don't need to generate any power. Just hit it. Just hit it low. Don't get that's looped up too much and gone over. But again, brilliance from Lauren Hemp. Another really strong first half from her.
Yeah, so Rebecca Spencer here will send it long. Tottenham abandoned playing out from the back then. Some of them flicks it on, looking to find Wimberg. Nice flick into Spence. Spence plays it in behind. Something for Naz to chase down this left channel. Holds up the ball nicely. Holds off Alana Kennedy. And now gets around Kennedy. Kennedy drags it to the floor. Tottenham free kick.
Yeah, too long ball. Yeah, you go long. You put an area where it's part versus similar, and it's worked perfectly for Tottenham. And now they've got themselves a free kick in a good area. And I mean, if they could get a goal and half the deficit before half time,
give them a bit of belief, I think.
Yeah, it would give them belief, and I think they'll be very happy with it, saying how the rest of the 40 minutes has gone. There's a chance here now. Summerlin and Wimberg over it. You'd expect it to be Summerlin to put it in, and it will be Summerlin as Wimberg walks away. But at this point, don't go for anything stupid. Don't try a routine. Just get the ball in the box, put it on the keeper, and put Man City on a little bit of pressure. That's exactly what they're going to do.
Someone puts it in there. Keating claims it well.
Well, they put it on the goalkeeper, and she caught it easily.
Yeah.
So maybe don't do that. But no one's around her to jump for it.
Well, England's got a few players marking her, to be fair, and then other than that, no one looks interested in challenging her.
England was the only Tottenham player that jumped, and she was about 10 yards away from the ball. Yeah. Never know. Might flick it off. Might drop suddenly. But yeah, Tottenham have definitely come back in the last 10-15 minutes or so.
Harvey, a pass inside to Shaw. Combative challenge in there from Bueller. England finds Morris back now to Bueller and back now to goalkeeper Spencer.
That'll be the other frustrating thing for Tottenham is that they've done it in this game now in the last 10 minutes, and they've proven it other times. At points in games, they can play quite well.
Great pass from Morris. Vinberg holds it up well, knocks it onto the runner Spence, who want to take it in her stride, but she'll have to run down the channel here. Greenwood recovers well. Spence will keep putting her under pressure. Can she get around to the ball? Not quite. And while her protests for a corner will be dismissed by the line.
Yeah, that is the perfect way to defend that scenario from Alex Greenwood. Just draw the player in, let them kick the ball, let it go out for a goal kick. Well managed that. And you think City will see themselves into the break 2-0 up. But Tottenham will look more positive. And again, it's more like where has this come from? They get played off the park for half an hour, and then suddenly for the last 10-15 minutes they turn up.
Yeah, Sapas Greenwood is so good. Completely agree there. Quality player is Alex Greenwood.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who really should be a nailed-on starter for a national side.
Yeah.
Great passing range, great leader, strong defender as well. Anyway, Tottenham in possession. Hunt, Bueller. Lifts it forward. And well, Naz is called offside there. That'll be a City free kick. 1 minute of additional time as well for this first 45 then. I think that's a fair assessment. Not a lot of stoppages. Obviously 2 goals though. So some stoppages, but not many. And well, successful first half, I think, by all accounts, for Manchester City.
Yeah.
But Tottenham are come forward and looking to spoil that. Vinberg. Oh, that is just not the right pass. She tries to feed it through to Naz. Spence making the run across though. It hits Spence and bobbles through to goalkeeper Keating.
Yeah. I mean, that is just...
She can see Spence making that run through.
That's just awareness. That's nothing to do with quality. It's literally just being aware of your surroundings. It's incredible. That's a lovely ball from
Virginio down the line. And now Khadija Shaw has a few players to beat, but it is Khadija Shaw.
Surprised not took Neville on there.
She looks to backheel, but Virginio not quite on the same wavelength. Couldn't quite pull it off. Though Simonon almost losing the ball there to Virginio. Goes out for a City throw. Won't matter though, because that is half time here at the Etihad Stadium at the break. Manchester City 2, Tottenham 0. Very good start for Man City. A goal after 20 seconds and another on 14 minutes. Since then, the game has ebbed and flowed, but, well, not a lot of action at either end, to be fair. Tottenham have had a few fleeting chances, but nothing concrete. City should have scored more, but couldn't quite find the back of the net. But at the break, it's Man City 2, Tottenham 0.
Yeah, good half. Man City to be happy with that. Well managed and exactly what you want from a first half. Started well, started ridiculously fast and kind of carried on. Tottenham, they definitely came back at them in the last 10 minutes, but overall didn't threaten too much, and I think City will be the far happier side of that first half. Work to do for Tottenham. Once again, not looking bad when they get the ball into attacking areas, and when they get the ball down and play their football, they can look good. But the problem is it doesn't work. You can't just be good for 10 minutes out of 45 in a half, and they were played off the park completely in the rest of that 45. And yeah, a lot of work to do if they need to stop conceding goals at the rate they are, and they need to stop making errors. I mean, they shot themselves in the foot after 20 seconds and immediately put themselves behind, and from there you're always going to find it tough to get back in the game.
Yeah, very true. I'm going to go take a short break and then I'll be back to talk about the first half. I'll leave you with Harry to give his thoughts on the first half. If you're watching along, get him on the live chat, give your thoughts. Tushy saying the game was a bit flat. I can't lie. Can't disagree there. There were a lot of chances to be... I don't know. I'll leave you to give your thoughts, Harry.
I think it's an interesting point. I do think that Because I think that is a case of the fact that the goal came so early. Because Man City scored within 20 seconds, it kind of meant that the hard part was done. The most difficult part of the game when you are a big side playing against a weaker opposition is finding that first goal. Because the longer the game goes on at 0-0, the tougher it is for the bigger side to find the back of the net. Because Man City scored after 20 seconds, their job was kind of done for them. They'd already done the hard part, so they were more measured, they were a little bit more laid back for the rest of the 45. So I can understand where you're coming from by saying that it was a little bit flat, and I do think that City probably aren't playing at their best because they don't need to, because they were 2-0 up in such a short period of time. So I do think there is more to come from this game, and it could liven up. So I do get where you're coming from. Sapphire says Williamson hasn't been bad today. That is good news for Arsenal. I mean, I believe it's still 3-0 over in London. That would be a massive result for Arsenal. That's a big statement. That's a Brighton side who have looked very, very good this season, and Brighton and Arsenal kind of blowing them out of the water in the first half. So that will be very interesting to see how to see if the Gunners can hold on there and how the second half is going to play out. But very different to what this game has been. I think this is exactly what we expected. Tottenham have found it really tough to start this season and have not enjoyed life in this WSL campaign, and it's been a very, very difficult period for them. They just look really poor defensively. They can't keep anything out, and when you're playing, it's tough enough when you're playing against sides of your quality, but when you're playing against sides like Man City, who are just that step above Tottenham, it's going to be really, really difficult. And I think Spurs have found that there's a lot of pressure you feel that is starting to mount on Robert Villaharm. They look nowhere near the side they were last season, and that is concerning. They've got a lot of problems to address. Personnel have been way too sloppy. They've made a lot of mistakes. I think, tactically they cannot build up. There's no organisation at the back. There's a lot of work for Tottenham to do, and the problem is they've got to do it quickly, because if not, you find yourself in a lot of trouble. Tushi says Tottenham lack inspiration. Sorry, their manager isn't helping them with his tactics as well. Yeah, exactly. For me, they haven't got the quality to play out the back, and that is a massive problem, because Eidevall is very stubborn in remaining to play from the goalkeeper and try and play through the press. Now, for me, I don't think Tottenham have got the quality, and the problem is, if you don't have the quality to play out the back, you keep losing the ball high at the pitch. And if we keep seeing Tottenham dispossessed on the edge of their penalty area, dispossessed in their own half, and suddenly that puts you under all kinds of pressure. You are in massive trouble if you're trying to play at the back and you keep losing the ball. And that's exactly what's happening. The first goal after 20 seconds was Tottenham trying to play with the ball around the back. It was a poor pass from Neville. Hunt then makes as an absolute disaster and loses the ball. Shaw's through on goal and she scores. And it was so effortless for Man City to go 1-0 up just like that. They had to do absolutely nothing to get that goal. It's incredible, to be honest, how easy it was. And yeah, I think you just have to realise from a Villaharm's point of view that you're going to have to change something. You can't keep trying to play out the back. And we saw towards the end of the half there where they went long and it actually worked. They put City under some pressure, but yeah, really poor half from a Tottenham point of view. Sapphire says that Spurs could do some January signings. 100% agreed. They need to up some quality. As we were talking about during the game, they replaced Clinton. Well, they replaced Bizet with Raso, and Wimberg was meant to be the Clinton replacement. But they haven't got this right in terms of that Wimberg isn't ready because she wasn't integrated early enough, and Raso's been injured, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens when she comes back. But yeah, for me, defensively they need some quality. I think Hunt came in this season and has looked so poor. Neville has had a really tough season as well, and that's the problem. They bolstered their defence. They brought in Claire Hunt, and we all looked at that and we thought, okay, that's a good signing. But in the WSL, I like Claire Hunt, but she has just been torn apart, absolutely torn apart, and you can't keep consistently playing her. because the performances are just miles away. I mean, gave Shaw the first one by losing the ball and then just letting Shaw run through, and the second one, it's Hunt who is marking Shaw, and she just lets Shaw muscle her off, lets Shaw jump ahead of her. You know, lets Khadija Shaw just get in front of her and win the ball, and it's just too easy. Yeah, I think Hunt looked really poor since she came to the league, and I think that it's just not working for Tottenham defensively. So you're right, defensive signings are a must-have, to be honest, and I think they do need to sort them out. But yeah, and the other thing is that the problem is I don't think one centre half solves the problem. Like I think the whole back line has just looked really off it this season, and they do need to sort that out, because you can. It's the organisation more than personnel. Someone needs to take some control in there, because no one wants to take responsibility. Just as a team, they just don't look good enough, and that's really concerning. And Man City have, realistically, if they really wanted to, probably could have scored a lot more.
Yeah, on another day, in more ruthless a fashion, City probably could have scored a hell of a lot more. I think that sums up City all season, though. They've had a lot of chances, a lot of games which they should have put teams to the sword, and they haven't. There's a big test, I think. If they can put a few past Tottenham today, I think they'll really show their title credentials.
Yeah.
Not that they're not, of course, in the title race, in that conversation. But I think if they seriously want to compete with Chelsea this season, want to win the league, they've got to start beating teams in more convincing fashion for me.
Definitely.
But yeah, Tushi says, Brighton have hit the bar twice, come on Brighton. Well, that would be a huge win if they could, or a huge point if they could turn that one around. But yeah, potentially. Neo TNT, did you talk about Chloe Kelly starting? No. We'll talk about that then. Why the hell isn't Chloe Kelly starting? Taylor isn't committing malpractice. That's interesting. I agree that Fagino's quite raw, but I don't think Kelly's the answer. I think that it was quite clear over the summer that perhaps Chloe would be allowed to leave.
Yeah.
That never happened, of course. But we're now in a bit of a weird situation where it was quite evident City wouldn't mind letting her go. And yet she stayed, and she's clearly not in Taylor's plans. I think right now it's very hard to argue that Mary Fowler isn't a better player than Chloe Kelly.
Yeah.
Especially on form. But overall, I think you could still make that argument. And then you've got Uber Fagino, who, while very raw, the more minutes she gets, the better she's going to get. And I think that at the moment, it's quite clear they'd rather prioritise her for the future than they would Chloe Kelly.
Kelly is that rotation player. Kelly is the player that you use when you want to rest the other player. So I'd expect Kelly to play Wednesday or Tuesday against Hammarby. But yeah, for the big games, and probably for the league games, I don't think we'll see Kelly start.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Kelly either on the left or through the middle. I think we'll see Fagino start. It's the sort of thing where I'm surprised to an extent why they didn't keep Poppy Pritchard. Because I think she would have got some opportunities this season, but perhaps she's a little too raw. But yeah, they've got players who can come in and play. They do. The problem for City now is that competing in 2 competitions, or well, more than that, 4 competitions in total, is that they simply don't have the depth. So either they're having to play a rotated side, but their quality isn't that great in rotation, if I'm honest, or they have to play their full strength side, and then they're going to get tired and they're going to get injured more, which suddenly makes their rotation players their full strength side. So they're in a bit of a tough situation at the moment, trying to balance all those competitions.
Yeah, I mean they've got who's the other rotation centre half?
They don't have one.
Exactly, they've got 3 centre halves.
They have no one other than Yui Hasegawa who can play defensive midfield. Yeah. I mean they could put some. I mean they've got options. Coombs could do a job there. Alexandria could do a job there, but that then drags Alexandria out of another position. A player who's already struggling with fatigue and fitness issues. So yeah, they're in a really tough spot now, and they've just lost their rotation fullback, Lazelle, for a few months. Or they lost her a month ago now.
But yes, it's one of those that I think they could struggle till the end of the season, Man City.
I think it could be what lets them down ultimately.
Yeah.
It's they've already lost to drawn with Arsenal this season. Yes, they could top their Champions League group, but that matters for very little.
Yeah.
Come the end of the season, come the knockouts, doesn't matter where you finish in your group.
As we were talking about on their failures last year, I think you can argue the reason they lost that quarter-final to Tottenham was because they rotated so heavily towards the end of the campaign.
They were stretched very thin. I think they will be again. They've not added a whole lot of talent this season.
Yeah. Now this season they've got Champions League to contend with.
You consider their window, and I think they had as many outgoings or a similar number of outgoings as incomings, which for a side who already struggled with rotation last season, I find bizarre.
Yeah.
Did they sufficiently bring in a backup to Shaw? You could argue Miedemar, but if Miedemar's supposed to be the backup in middle midfield, she can't also be the backup to Shaw.
Yeah, no.
And I get they're trying to have these players who can play multiple positions, but it means you don't really have a second string side. The fact they didn't bring in someone to be a backup to Yui Hasegawa was beyond me.
But then I still find it bizarre that, because I think Coombs can do a job against the likes of Poulton and Hammerby in certain games. So then it surprised me that Coombs doesn't play against those opposition.
Has Coombs not played against those kind of teams?
Hasegawa started the Poulton game.
Oh, in that defensive position, but then Coombs is rotating higher up the field. So
but then you've got Blink. But that's the thing. But then in that role, you've got Blink.
To be fair, she hasn't. She didn't play Poulton.
Yeah, that's
play Barcelona. Hasn't played 17 minutes against Palace. That's all her involvement has been.
Like Hammerby, I would expect Coombs to swap for Hasegawa because she can do that against the weak opposition. And then you play Blinkilder and either Park or Rord.
Would they be looking just to beat Hammerby though, be on 9 points, and then play players like Coombs for the other
Potentially, but I think they'd beat Hammerby either way. But Barcelona put 9 past them.
Sapphire says if City rotate against Hammerby, it could go badly. City almost lost to Poulton, and Hammerby are better than them. That is true, but they've got Chelsea this weekend, and Chelsea will rotate against Celtic. That's the key difference. It's that City may not be able to afford to rotate because their rotation is so weak. But if they don't rotate, they've got 4 days between then and Saturday.
I think City should look at it from a point of view as you prioritise Chelsea. You rest against Hammerby. If you somehow drop points to Hammerby, because you've already beaten Barcelona, because of the position they're in, if they drop points to Hammerby, they should still be absolutely fine.
They should still get through, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And they would then, they'd know to play a much stronger side in the second match.
Exactly.
Which is the week after.
You prioritise Chelsea. Their weaker side should be good enough to beat Hammerby.
Looks like a change is afoot for Tottenham. Amy James-Turner.
I would 150% expect Claire Hunt to come off it. As I said, she had a torrid season since she joined, and tonight has probably been the worst performance of the lot.
Yeah, Amy James-Turner's not played this season yet. That is the thing to note. Has, I believe, been out injured.
So, yeah, this is good to see.
So this could be it's a huge change.
Bit of organisation in there, because I think the back four last year was obviously it was her and Beulah.
Yeah,
and they played very, very well together.
Well, her and Bartrip.
Yeah,
I think played more, and then they would rotate in players like Beulah and Grant and Hunt. They didn't have Hunt.
Nilden.
I
think Nilden's out. Nilden's out injured at the moment, which also
that's not helping them, is it?
No. But yeah, looks unchanged for City.
Well, there will be a change, as you say, for Tottenham.
Claire Hunt.
So Amy James-Turner on for number 15. Claire Hunt.
Lord, I could have seen that coming. A bit of a shocker.
Yeah, I was going to say a tough first half. Out jumped for the second and out muscled for the first.
And the assist for the first, you could argue.
You could argue.
Gave away a penalty against Chelsea, and just overall has not been very good.
Just too many mistakes recently.
Which is frustrating because that was meant to be the centre half who they brought in to solidify their defence, and it's actually made them worse.
Yeah.
And that would be the frustrating point from a Tottenham point of view. But big second half, if they can take that last 10 minutes from the first half, play like that again, they could cause City issues. Didn't think City will also raise their level.
Indeed, but it will be City to get us back underway then in this game. Leading 2-0 after 45. Can they see out this victory and remain top of the WSL for another game week? Well, we're about to find out, but it'll be Jess Park to get us started. Knocks the ball back, and we're back underway here at the Etihad. And the ball immediately back to Kiara Keating. So we'll see what happens here. So Tottenham look to be back to a 4-4-2, which is something.
But it's a 4-4-2 with Naz and Spence as the two.
Make sense of that. Anyone out there that wants to make sense of that, please let us know. To be fair, this has really been what they've been doing in terms of out of possession structure. And then we see Bartrip sort of drop in between the centre halves sometimes when they're really up against it.
Yeah.
Here is Spencer, and according to Tushy, it's 4-0 Arsenal.
Wow.
That's a big win.
That is a statement. Is that Arsenal playing very well, or is that Brighton playing
Fox
badly?
came off on 56 minutes. So no clean sheet point. Glad I benched her. Glad I benched Bergsman as well, because that's 4 goals conceded and a yellow card.
I have Fox in my team on the wall. Was it injury related or just rotation?
Normal subs, 56 minutes. Triple change from...
Renee Slagers, what are you doing? Give Fox 4 more minutes.
I reckon she did it deliberately to annoy fancy WSL players everywhere. Hertig with a header, says Yi Chen. Lovely stuff.
That's annoyed me because that's gone
not
from
someone
what?
Have an impact.
14 points to 2.
14?
I've got the wall on.
Yeah, it only doubles clean sheets. So it'd be double 4. She'd had 10 points from Fox.
So I've got 2. It's
No.
5 for a clean sheet, isn't it?
No. You're on 1 point. From
Oh,
Fox.
because she didn't get 60 minutes.
She didn't get 60 minutes or keep a clean sheet. Going well. Sapphire says, worst thing for Hammarby is their coach. It's the same guy who led Norway to that 8-0 loss against England. Doesn't sound great, does it?
I'll be honest, if you've lost 8-0 as an international team and 9-0 as a domestic side, I would just stop coaching. Like, that's... Torrid is what that is.
For Norway as well. What a strong nation.
And even Hammarby aren't a bad team.
Montserrat says, I don't think Brighton has the quality to play out with the back like this. It's close, but just a few too many mistakes. Well, to be fair, the rest of the season's proven otherwise. I will say, though, I think Arsenal are one of the best pressing sides in the league. I thought we saw that against Man City. A lot. I think that we saw it a bit against Chelsea. So their pressing structure is really good. They just don't tend to use it much because they tend to always have the ball and then do nothing with it.
Yeah. Potentially, I think that is probably the next step for Vidicic. It's just adapting to play against the better sides.
We did against City.
That
I wasn't
true.
really on him that day.
No.
City scored a good goal and Brighton missed some chances. And against a side that are so good, I wouldn't really blame him there.
And again, to be honest...
4-0 though, Spencer just slapped that out of the air. Surprised not put up a yellow for that, because that looked fairly deliberate.
How can you complain about that?
So she says, play Beth England up front, what's his manager doing?
Yeah.
Shout it from the rooftops. No idea.
You take one of the best strikers in the WSL over the last half a decade and...
Just playing right midfield in a 4-4-2.
It's crazy.
She might not be the best presser in the league, but
it's one of the best
find it hard to argue that Drew Spence is more effective in the pressing.
And
they've got no one to hold the ball up when they clear it away. Here's Jess Park trying to burst into the penalty area. Good chance though from Neville. Buula comes away with the ball, but Spence isn't alert to it and loses out to Greenwood. Here's Uahabi. Roared. Back to Greenwood. Kennedy.
City just want to control. Yeah, they just want to make sure, because the way the first half ended, they want to make sure Tottenham won't have a sniff. The problem is Tottenham are kind of fighting
trying
back.
to play that through to England. England coming in behind here. Does really want to hold it up, but she's flagged offside. She did look to go too early there.
She's more frustrated that the ball didn't come sooner.
Yeah. Tottenham are close to getting something happen in this
City
game.
have got to be a little bit carefully.
Hertie, by the way, got subbed on the 72nd, scored 4 minutes later.
Yeah.
Prolific.
Okay. Huge victory that would be for Arsenal. Huge. This one, not out of sight yet by City, but they should. You'd think they'd be alright from here on in, but you never know.
Keating. Now Greenwood. Back to Kiara Keating. And now just bringing that ball out of defence is Alana Kennedy. Shaw lays it off well to Yui Hasagawa. Here's Jill Roard, turns and looks to play, and here comes City. Hemp has Uahavi overlapping. She drives inside. I thought that was a great space for the overlap, and then she just kept driving inside and she's lost the ball. City win it back high though. Lauren Hemp takes aim, and that's a good stop from Spencer. Tips it wide around the post. And Lauren Hemp there, almost adding to City's tally.
Yeah, Beth England dispossessed on the edge of her own penalty area, but sort of a bit short by the pass. And it's, Hemp, not a bad effort. Good save from Spencer, and a key one. Keeps Tottenham in this game. But just trying to play out with a 2-yard pass there on the edge of their own penalty area, it's just not going to work.
You think you're playing Man City, think about it a bit.
Yeah. Just clear it. Corner now and a good chance to get a third. It's headed up by...
Ball back into the box, cleared away. Spence now, and they'll look to break here. Tottenham. Drew Spence, one back in there by Rord, and that's City's ball.
Spence isn't working in the breakaway because she's not a striker. I don't understand what Wilhelm's doing here. He's shooting himself in the foot by playing Beth England out on the right and Drew Spence up front.
Well, it's a second striker type position, isn't it, for Spence? But, yeah.
I mean, the key word, striker.
Just says Lauren Hemp is a gem. Honestly, I don't really like City, but I really like her. Yeah.
Like an incredible player.
And having a fantastic season on a real purple patch of form at the moment. Here's for Gino. Gives it to Ua Harvey on the overlap. Ua Harvey puts in the box. It's over Shaw. And that's dealt with before Parker get there for Gino. Nice dummy there to get that ball away from England. Hasegawa. So for Gino. There's a great pass on here to Ford to Rord, if she could pick that out. Does now find Gio Rord as Rord drops in to make some space. Rord to Ua Harvey through the lines. Lovely stuff. Ua Harvey puts it in there. Shaw's header is blocked. It looked to be a hand. Referee doesn't agree.
I'd love to know what body part that was if it wasn't a hand.
That managed to get out of there.
Yeah.
Here's Naz looking to take on Alana Kennedy. Has Ash Neville in support. And Drew Spence. Spence carries it left. Here's Matilda Wimberg. This is what I don't get about Tottenham's system. They're coming forwards and you've got Molly Bartrip, you've got Ash Neville as your attacking outlets. What a bizarre situation.
Yeah.
That's an utterly bizarre situation.
It's just strange. A 4-player counter-attack with Naz, Spence...
Where's
Neville
England? Where's Wimberg?
It's just bizarre.
Even Simonen. And it falters. It's City's ball now. Kennedy.
I'd love to see that Shaw header back. Just to see what.
Sapper says, I enjoy watching FC Barcelona play out from the back. I think Arsenal are as well tonight. It's not, by all accounts, it's not been very successful.
No.
I have to say, I'm hugely surprised by that result, though.
Yeah. I thought, Brighton have only dropped points at Man City and Man United. So to be fair, they still came out. I think it's not the fact they've lost; it's more the fact the fashion.
Yeah, I don't think a loss is embarrassing this evening, but 4-0 to a side who've been out of ways, out of form. It doesn't bode well for Chelsea next weekend.
Yeah.
No, the weekend after that.
No, it doesn't.
When do they play? I can't remember. Start of December, actually, I think.
Yeah.
Not the weekend after. Next Chelsea play City, United, then Brighton. Tough run for Chelsea.
Big run.
After
season-defining
Liverpool
run.
Coming up this Sunday. We can't ignore that one. Join us live for that.
That's going to be a big game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Liverpool have shown they can take the game. They're taking the game to City this season already.
Here comes Matilda Wimberg. Manages to get past Casper. I posted through to Naz, who is on side here. Naz, nice footwork. Back to Wimberg. Chance for Tottenham. Ball into the box. Can England meet it? An acrobatic attempt. She raises her foot to get there. Just over the bar.
I have to say, I think this is the best Matilda Wimberg performance I've seen in a Tottenham shirt.
Yeah,
just looked much sharper.
Some issues. I mean, Kennedy should never jump in there like that, but...
And we've seen a lot of misplaced passes. That's a lovely ball.
Not a bad ball either.
If anything, England just needs to drop a yard off Ua Harvey.
That is quite difficult to do, to be fair.
I mean, yeah, and then just shins it up in the air. But worth a go. And Wimberg's coming off. Utterly bizarre decision making. Utterly bizarre.
Everything Wilhelm does is the opposite of what I would do. Rasso's on, so that's something. England's coming off as well after that
Wimberg's
move.
been your best player tonight.
And so Bartrip continues in midfield.
And Beth England, who you've shoved out on the right, is now off. And Wimberg has been your best player, is now off.
What you can easily do there is take off a centre-back, put Bartrip deeper, or take off Bartrip, put Spence back in the midfield, and get on another striker and actually try and go for the game. Off. Where is Spence now?
And now it's what is this?
New pressing structure unlocked.
Well, this is new.
And Keating just plays out to Casper in Acres, which was perhaps a little flaw of the narrow pressing system.
The bit where you subbed Hayley Raso on and then put her through
Keating.
the middle.
Kasperai flicks it on. Neville deals. Here's Raso. Can she haunt her former side here? Can she come and have an impact?
Great to see Raso back on the pitch in a Tottenham shirt, but not for Vinberg.
Sherrill says I need Khadija Shaw to score one more goal. As a fantasy WSL enthusiast, I wouldn't be against.
I need a Chosanote hat-trick on Sunday.
What a bizarre thing to be praying for. Arnie Keys from Leicester to get a goal. That'd be brilliant.
I'm actually Camilla Sace again. I think Tottenham aren't playing very well, yes, but Villaham is shooting himself in the foot in this game.
Wow, why's he doing that? It's Park.
I don't know.
Park coming forwards, finds Jill Rord. Rord touched onto Hemp, should score, does not score. How on earth does she not? It clatters against one post, it clatters off the other. And Tottenham cling on.
That should be in the goal. All I can say about that.
Great footwork, trying to find a
that
Harvey Morris.
Should be in the goal, and I do not know how it is not in the goal.
Yes, Tottenham fans held their breath.
Brilliant football.
No idea.
The drive from Park just runs past 3 people like they're not there.
Brilliant.
Rord
with a lovely weight of pass into Hemp. Hemp tries to go to the near side, clatters off the inside of the post, clatters off the inside of the other one, and bounces out.
What more can Hemp do to score it? Incredible.
Unbelievable. You've got to question who's ever going to come for Hemp today. She had a chance that Fagino created for her in the first option she's managed to put wide. And she's had that chance there, which, to be fair, did very well with.
There's so much space. I don't know how there's so much space. Just Villaham. I think this might be the first one you can kind of put on him.
Well, they've not been good. I know they've created a lot of individual errors. Jill Rord, that's blocked. Probably should have looked to pass and then loses the head up.
First goal was individual error. Second was... But in terms of... I think they'd have a much better chance in this game if he just hadn't kept doing stupid
Team
things.
selection's been weird all season, to be fair.
Yeah.
The fact that Vinberg's only got a look in when they're tough games, then when she is playing well, they hook her
Again,
for a player who's only just back from injury.
Similar to the Idaval situation in terms of the tactics aren't bad, but the personnel either don't execute it or the team selection's abhorrent.
I'm not sure the tactics are great, to be fair, this season.
Yeah.
They're getting stretched defensively. They don't look very potent in attack. They have in other games where oppositions will make errors and where there's space to exploit, but there's a reason the only games they've won this season have been West Ham and Crystal Palace.
But tonight they haven't looked potent because Drew Spence is your outlet. And Molly Bartrip's making crazy runs for the middle.
She's your roaming playmaker. Neville finds Raso. Raso looks to spin Kasperai. Kasperai stands her up well. Raso waits for some support. We'll go back to Bartrip though.
Well, your top goal scorer this season and last season is playing right midfield.
Actually, I think Simmons is our top scorer. Stick her up front. Ball through the lines. Good block by Kasperai. And now back to Kennedy. Now Greenwood. Bringing that ball out of defence.
So now what they've done is they've brought Thomas on and put Naz onto the right.
Kennedy. Kasperai. Back now to goalkeeper Keating.
And dropped Spence.
Yeah.
So gone to a 4-5-1 when they don't have the ball.
So apparently now they're allowed to put Thomas on the right. Now they're allowed to put Naz on the right hand side.
And you put the striker up front and you just drop Spence.
I couldn't do that with England.
No, it's bizarre.
Greenwood. I just don't see the tactical upside of playing Bethany England on the right side. I guess you could argue there were a few chances where if they had just played the ball into England, she would have scored.
Yeah.
And so she was getting space out there that perhaps she wouldn't have. But they also sacrificed so much hold up. So I don't see what the tactical upside is. Ball in for Gino's crosses block though. That looked like it was destined for Khadija Shaw. So a crucial block from Neville. But a chance now for City to cause more issues from this corner.
Yeah, still half an hour. You feel one more goal will probably see City through with the win.
Yes.
But Tottenham have held firm. And this is what, again, will frustrate. They haven't conceded since the 15th minute.
Yeah.
And that is why they'll be so frustrated. They started so poorly. They've been absolutely fine since then. Yes, City have taken their foot off the gas. But
Ball in from Manchester City. Headed goalwards by Kennedy, but it's blocked away. Is for Gino. Harby now lifts it into the box. Shaw at the back post. Can't quite meet it. Will fall again to Hemp. Up against Neville. Puts the ball in there. Pushed away by Spencer. Quite well, to be fair. And then hacked away by Simon.
It's just too easy how Lauren Hemp just gives herself a yard of space to get a ball in or to do something with it.
And who was she up against that time?
Just
more suspect defending from Ash Neville, really. Harvey. Kennedy. Now Kasparai.
Oh, lovely.
That's brilliant for Kennedy to bring that out from the back. Is there a forward pass? And well, she was pulled back there by Raso, so you can see why that foul was given. Thing is, Kennedy's done really well to beat 2 players and then just doesn't know what to do with it. No. She's got to this territory. She's like, what do I do now? You see her looking around, she wasn't used to that. Here's Kennedy. Now Greenwood. I really like the interchangeability of the shape for City because you've got 2 wingers who are very comfortable coming inside, but also very comfortable holding the width. Because you've got 2 fullbacks who are both very comfortable sitting in a situational back 3, but also very comfortable getting forwards. It gives you a lot of tactical flexibility. And so at times when the left-hand side come forwards in attack, and others will see the right-hand side, it's very difficult then to know what to do. And I think that's why Tottenham are being stretched today. Yeah. Because they don't know which way to defend. And so they'll go across with the ball, but if the right back side to come forwards, then suddenly there's an overload on that right-hand side. So if the ball goes into the box, there are going to be a lot of City players at the back post. Yeah. It's creating a big issue for Tottenham. Because they're going across with the play, but City are so effectively making this pitch incredibly wide. Yeah. So they are able to knock it round and get to the other side of the field and then attack that side. Where then Tottenham have got to adjust. If they don't adjust in time, City come down that side. If they do, City just go back around. And eventually, they're going to keep going left to right until the space opens up. That's why they've been so effective this evening. Tottenham just getting dragged. You do feel the 5-back would have been a way to accommodate for that, but it wasn't really a 5-back because Bartrick was playing middle of the field. Yeah. Raw there holds at the ball well. One back though by Amy James Turner. Has looked fairly solid since she's come on, but to be fair, they've not conceded, which is better. Here's Keating.
That's what I mean.
In a bad second half.
We haven't seen a goal for them. It's been 50 minutes since the goal went in. The second City goal. Tottenham are in this game. They still are in the game, and they were in the game. But I just think they've cost themselves with the teams, with the personnel, the subs. The subs was the opportunity to really make you move, get back in the game. But you bought off your 2 best players of the night. Yeah. Bizarre. Yeah, it looks, by the way, that Arsenal have been in complete control there. 17 shots to 2 in favour of Arsenal. An emphatic victory against the Brighton side who've looked really good this season. 7 shots on target to 1 for Brighton. Yeah. It's incredible. Assegar under pressure here. Now Harvey goes back to Greenwood. As for the game that we've been watching, Manchester City 71% possession. Tottenham yet to register a shot on target. City 14 shots, 4 on target, 6 big chances. Wow. And that's what I mean. They could have put Tottenham to the sword this evening. They could still put Tottenham to the sword this evening. But that's what Chelsea did. Chelsea created so many big chances against Tottenham. They end up winning 5-2. Now, granted, City haven't conceded, but they could have conceded fluky goals like Chelsea did. They just didn't. Tottenham did fall apart. 5-0 Arsenal. That's a big statement. 5 now. From Slagus and Arsenal. Apparently Alessia Russo with a penalty. Yeah. So Russo goal. This was Frank. That's the kind of game they can really take momentum from. They play Juventus on Tuesday night. This is what they needed before that. They got Juventus on Tuesday. Then next weekend, I'm trying to remember who they're playing. Great drive from Hemp, finds Rord in the penalty area, takes a pass 1, Jill Rord finishes it off. Manchester City 3, Tottenham 0, and Rord is in a rich vein of scoring form, and she has another to account for the season. City 3, Tottenham 0, and once again, Lauren Hemp, the provider. Brilliant game. That's had 2 assists for her in this game. I think that is a goal in all of our last 3 games for City for Jill Rord. She's been in great form, and now City lead by 3-0. Yeah, brilliant football from Man City, and that probably sees them through in this game. Brilliant from Hemp, rise to tackle from Spence, rise to tackle from Naz, gives it to Rord. It's just too easy. She skips past Beulah and just fires it in at the near post. Brilliance from Hemp and a lovely finish from Rord. And that should be that, really, for this game. As you say, Rord finally got scored once she come back from injury and has looked superb.
Yeah, she was the decisive scorer against Aston Villa a few games ago. She added to their victory against Crystal Palace, and she adds to their victory tonight against Tottenham. That's her first time scoring in 3 successive WSL games for Jill Rord. It's coincided nicely with me bringing her into my fantasy WSL team. So thank you for repaying the faith I put in you, Jill Rord. And while Tottenham are regrouping for the 3rd time this evening, will this one be more effective?
But they're not. But again, you look there,
and they've lost the ball immediately, and Khadija Shaw is running at them, but they have managed to deal with that immediate threat. Here's Hasegawa though, picks up the pieces. Jill Rord shifts it left. Lauren Hemp wants to take on the fullback, beats Morris, puts it across the box, Shaw's the back post, and Shaw finishes it off. It's a 3rd assist for Lauren Hemp. It's a 3rd goal for Khadija Shaw to complete her hat-trick. 7 for the season, 4 for City on the night. Brilliant. And that's so quick after just scoring to add another and compound the misery for Tottenham.
That's game over now. Brilliance from City, brilliance from Shaw, and another superb performance from Lauren Hemp. They just
don't deal with this.
No.
There's so much space on this left-hand side. And Morris, you've got to get closer. You've got to try and prevent her. And someone's got to stop this ball rolling across the penalty area. And then someone has to stop Khadija Shaw just tapping it in the far post.
Khadija Shaw's been unmarked again. How can you not mark Khadija Shaw? That's bullet point number 1 on the tactics board every time you play Man City.
And well, rightfully Shaw will grab the headlines tonight, but let's not forget the performance of Lauren Hemp. Breathtaking 3 assists in 1 game.
Her contribution numbers are skyrocketing this season.
And Khadija Shaw, with that hat-trick, becomes the player with the most hat-tricks in WSL history. That's now 6 for Shaw.
Unbelievable.
And we are only 7 game weeks into the season.
An incredible player.
One says Hempo is a legend. She's been on fire this season. And once again showing that this evening. Justin Williams says, good God. Tottenham again below their talent on the field. Yeah, they've not been very good here, Tottenham. Very impressive though from
And
City.
Finally City putting a team to the sword a little bit.
Yeah. They've imposed themselves here on Tottenham.
I mean, Sky had enough. They've just gone and found 2 comedians to go talk to them for the last 22 minutes.
That's good.
What part of commentary?
Maisie Adam and Susie Raphael.
As guest commentators.
Is that what they do at 4-0 now?
Guest comment. They got us 4-0. Let's get us a guest.
Here's Russell Howard.
Yeah. So imagine like live Chelsea at Anfield. And he's there with Peter Drury.
You got any jokes for us, Russell? Anyway, subs coming for City. That's for Gino. The end of Gino's involvement in this evening's game. And that'll be Mary Fowler coming on for her return from injury. Gino showed glimpses tonight.
Yeah.
But probably could have got herself involved in the goals.
Definitely.
And Jill Rord also making way after her goal. Laura Blinkilda coming on in her place.
Yeah. Another superb performance from Rord.
Rord's 10-point haul.
Incredible.
If she gets some bonuses.
Mental. Yeah. I can't believe I uncaptained Shaw. I don't know why I did that.
I was going too well. One says, our striker killing our goalie, Jamaica woes. Yeah. Andrew Spence not having a great evening either. Olga Artinen coming on now for Spence.
But again, team selection. Why are you benching Olga Artinen?
That is the big question.
I'm
losing out, by the way, on Fantasy WSL to everyone who has loads of Arsenal players, but I'll go for it.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's not like one player scored loads of goals. But it's not like one player's got loads of goals. It's from 5 different goal scorers. It's not too bad. McCabe's on loads of points. But the kind of people that pick Katie McCabe don't have great squads around it. Because they tend to also have 2.
Captaincy off Khadija Shaw. Got rid of Marnham. What's the point?
So if you want to know how to play Fantasy WSL, just look at what Harry tells for this team and do the opposite. That would be my advice.
But I'm crushing it over an FPL, so...
You win some, you lose some. I've got Shaw captain this evening. Very big
Actually, I'm not doing too badly.
That'll be, I think, 17 points. Doubled to 34.
Fran Kirby isn't great, but she doesn't get minus points, so that's not too bad. But Shaw on loads of points and Casper on a clean sheet.
Unless you got booked.
No, that's a poor pass from Greenwood. Here is Raso, one back by Park. It's just got very easy for Man City. If they get 1 or 2 more goals, is that them?
For all intents and purposes, this game is over.
Yeah. But again, as you say, that being that ruthlessness, if they get 2 goals, does that again start to prove they can do it? They can kill teams off.
Yeah, another 2 I think would. But even so, 8 big chances tonight, only a 50% conversion on those. And Tottenham's defence has been tragic.
But it's weird because like Hemp's missed 2 of them.
Hemp in behind, chance now for City, recovered by Amy James Turner and put out a play for a throw.
It is just bizarre because Hemp's missed 2 of those big chances, yet she's been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, that is true. That's a good point.
She'd be on 2 goals and 3 assists, and that would be the best performance of a player. I don't think that would happen. Yeah, that would be the best performance in the WSL ever. There's no as a player who's got 2 goals and 3 assists. There probably is, to be fair.
No, Shaw scored loads and loads of goals. She doesn't tend to get more than... I don't think she's got more than 3 a game, though.
No.
I can't recall her scoring
Miedemar
4.
scored 6 in one game.
I'm sure Kerr's got 4 at some point. She did in the Champions League, I remember that. Last season, and then she got injured, so she didn't really play. But she was up there for Golden Boot despite not playing after the group stage.
Yeah.
Tucci says Tottenham actually believes in you. What a joke! That is a lesson to everyone out there. Whatever you do, don't believe in Tottenham.
No. So what's it look like for the table then for Tottenham?
It's not too bad. I mean, they are going to be further off Arsenal, probably further off Man United. If we are predicting the results based on how we expect them to go, Liverpool will probably still be only 2 points ahead of them. So it's not too bad considering I think Liverpool are way better than Tottenham.
Leicester should win, and then that puts Tottenham 8th.
Leicester should win. Palace could win. It's they play Everton, no?
So Palace could win as well, and then suddenly Tottenham.
Yeah, Palace, Everton.
Then suddenly Tottenham 9th.
And if Villa win, who've they got? Manchester United, probably not, but you never know. They could close up the gap.
You do never know, but United don't look too bad.
I think someone in that bottom 5's got to score points because they're all playing each other bar Villa.
Yeah.
So they can't all not score. I mean, Everton and West Ham could win.
So Tottenham will
Villa are bottom.
Tottenham will lose out to at least 2 of the teams below them. That's the problem.
Yeah, potentially all of them if they all draw.
That's actually the better option for them because then Tottenham don't lose any places. And I don't think they worry about West Ham gaining on them. Or Everton.
Cheryl says she scored 5 in one game. Has she? Khadija Shaw. In the WSL? What game was that, Cheryl?
Was it Kerr?
That could also be the case, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing with Shaw's goal scoring is it's come in the period as the WSL is probably in its biggest growth. Yeah. Where there are so many the quality's gone up so high.
It's when you compare them, it's you can argue her goal scoring rate is more impressive than the likes of Miedemar's was incredible at Arsenal, but they were playing against weaker opposition.
Well, I think Miedemar's somewhat disrespected because her last 2 seasons at Arsenal didn't work out. Here comes Tottenham. Haley Rasso's won it hard up the field, takes it past Kirsten Kasparai. Chance for Tottenham here with 15 minutes left. It's not going to spare a comeback, but it could get them a goal for morale. Still going, Haley Rasso. Kasparai shoves her to the floor. Advantage is played though as Naz picks up the ball. Forward pass into Morris. Chance for Tottenham. Blocked brilliantly by Greenwood, and now City will look to play out. That's lifted towards Hemp. Unconventional defending, but it works out for Amy James Turner, and Tottenham's attack is still on. Morris. Pass inside. Now back to Summonen from Bartrop. I keep forgetting Bartrop's in midfield. I know that was Olga Arthur, to be fair. Here's Bartrop. Now Arthur. James Turner. Goes wide. It seems more like a 5-back now.
Yeah.
And stunningly, they're actually coming forwards.
Feels like a goal difference. Don't want to ship anymore. They've conceded far too many this season.
They have. I mean, that is now the most in the league now.
Yeah.
18 goals shipped for Tottenham.
So
unless Palace concede 2 against Everton, who have not scored a goal, let me remind everyone.
Off their own player. I'm
not counting Camilla Sides. She's smashing it with her own goals though.
She's on 2 this
almost as prolific as Shaw.
Who's West Ham's goal scorer? Ueki.
Camilla Sides.
She's joint, aren't they?
Sides got 2 own goals, and Ueki scored twice, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think Ueki's on 3. West Ham only scored 3.
Ueki's not on 3 then.
Ueki's on 2 and Anouk Denton's on 1 as well. I think she scored against Everton if I remember correctly.
Safe has scored 2 as well. She's in the wrong goal.
Yeah. Not brilliant.
No. 15 to go.
Yeah, quite interestingly, which would make sense based on this game, Arsenal lead the league for big chances to miss. I don't know if that considers tonight's games or not. But Arsenal lead the league for big chances to miss with 17. That will surprise nobody. Then it's Man City with 13. Then it's Tottenham with 9. I know they create a high volume of chances, but the fact they're not finishing these teams off,
and
like
Tottenham
Chelsea
just miss all of them.
Admittedly, Chelsea on 7, but that's 6 less big chances missed than Man City, and 10 less than Arsenal. And I'm not sure that's even counted tonight's game. Man City have had another few big chances missed. Loads of chances going in. That's a yellow card for
not
James
a good
Turner.
tackle from James Turner. It's just poor defending is what it is. It's rash. It's not even thought about it. The ball's gone. Hasegawa has knocked the ball past her and she's flown in. And that is a silly yellow card to pick up. First one of the night. Take us 77 minutes to get a yellow card.
Yeah. And Tottenham, I think, are close to averaging 3 goals conceded a game right now.
Oh dear.
18 across 7 matches.
Dear oh dear. Double change then, Hemp and Shaw coming off. And this is more what you're meant to be. This is good from Gareth Taylor. They're 4-0 up, bringing Shaw and Hemp off.
Yeah.
Only playing so that is smart.
Yeah, indeed. Because they may need to come on, even if they don't start against Hammy, they may need to come on. They definitely will be starting next weekend.
Yeah.
Injury. It's not
obviously. And also it gives 13 minutes for if anything, it also boosts their chances, the rotation side, because you good opportunity for Murphy to come on, and for Kelly to get 13 minutes to play well for 13 minutes, then goes into the game in the Champions League and plays even better.
Laura Coon's coming on as well.
This should be for Hasegawa.
Surely. 16.
No, it's just Park.
Just Park. What has Yui Hasegawa got to do to get a bit of rest?
Yeah. Just 12 minutes.
No wonder she's like swamped tonight.
Yeah.
She's constantly playing. Odd One says City need 2 more goals. Tushy says, why do they look like they've never played together? Oh my days, literally zero chemistry. I assume that's on Tottenham. Yeah, it's so weird because Tottenham were not this bad last season. They actually played quite well, and yet this year, I have no words to describe what Tottenham are doing. No words. Greenwood puts in the box, header on. Blinker tries to get there, but it's cooped up by Spencer. And now they'll look to play. Naz brings that down well. Looks to play a forward pass. It's being forced back though. James Turner, summon them. Now Neville. Just bringing that ball forward. Coombs will chase her down. And that's out now for a Tottenham throw. Artinen. Nice turn. Goes back to Bartrip. James Turner. Bartrip back to goalkeeper Spencer. Now Artinen. Bartrip. Nice pass in the rail. So it's got better for Tottenham, but it's just too little too late, really. Kennedy under pressure from Ras, so we'll find Kasparai though, and City can come forwards once again. Coombs will go back though into Kennedy. 10 minutes to play. This should be City's now, but
yeah,
I say should be. I'd be stunned beyond belief if Tottenham came back.
But again, City want a professional job to keep a clean sheet. Probably, they'll hope to get 1 or 2 more. Yeah, it'd be big to get Kelly a goal, or to it'd be brilliant to see Murphy get on the score sheet.
That's the thing City haven't really done this season is keep clean sheets. They kept a clean sheet against Palace and against West Ham, and I think one against Brighton. Yeah, one against Brighton. But other than that, they conceded to Arsenal, conceded to Liverpool, and conceded to Villa.
Yeah.
So I know that they've still been very dominant, still kept quite a few clean sheets, but they've kept clean sheets against the bottom 3 sides in the league, and Brighton, who really should have scored. I think tonight, proving their defensive quality, because Tottenham, a team who've scored quite a few goals in the league this season, I think only Chelsea and City have more. You know, yeah, City scored quite a few, and they haven't challenged City whatsoever.
No.
They're still yet to have a shot on target. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Unbelievable. City, though, 8 big chances created.
Thing is, Tottenham will
4 scored, 4 missed.
Tottenham will get away with it because they will keep beating teams like West Ham. They'll beat Crystal Palace. They might not beat Crystal Palace in the reverse fixture. That'll be interesting. Away
Tottenham.
from home.
We'll see where Palace are, but if they need the points, I think they'll take on Tottenham.
That's what, yes, what I'm saying there.
Yeah.
I think they're in trouble. I think West Ham. They beat West Ham. I think most teams could beat West Ham at the moment. They've still got to play Everton. That'd be nice. Change now. Then Naz is coming on. Is that Grant? I think it's Grant coming on for Naz.
Yes.
Why? Where?
Back 6 now for Tottenham then. Oh, everyone says, who could possibly be Hasegawa's understudy? They just need a defensive midfielder.
Anyone. Even if they're not the best, just a cover in the games that they don't need Hasegawa to play.
Yeah. Let them rotate a bit.
Like, you know, when you're playing your Evertons, West Ham's, your Palace, when you're playing Bolton at home, just play anyone.
When you look at Chelsea, if they want to rest Cuthbert, they could go to Vika Captain, Aurélien Jean-François, Julia Bartel, Sjoka Nusken, Inga when she wasn't injured. You look at who could back up Hasegawa, it's like, well, there's sort of no one.
I think you have to play Coombs for at least a couple games. Because
but then does that leave them open a bit? I think. No, I know. I get. You know, there are opponents I think should do fine against, but City have been somewhat open in transition.
The thing is, putting up with Coombs in that defensive midfield position for a couple of games is better than losing Hasegawa for loads.
But then you get, the question opens up. Well, if it's only like 3 or 4 league games, does that make that that huge difference? It'll make a difference. But yeah, they're just. I mean, I can't see why she's still on the field now. Brilliant player, but rest her. Yeah,
I think it's about managing in terms of that. If you can get her,
I'm interested who starts against Hammarby.
Yeah, but it's more if you get the 2 games a week down to 1 game a week.
Hasegawa wins it high. Now Harvey. Brilliant that from Murphy here, breaking in behind, finds Fowler, touch, can she get a shot away? Does so, but it's saved by Spencer. Really good there, putting the young left winger for Man City.
Lovely touch, just beats Grant. And Fowler didn't really have to do with it. Didn't have anyone to let it back to. Had 3 players waiting for a
chance. Big save for Spencer. We cut back and Tottenham have given the ball away.
Simon had lost the ball. Fowler had run it off Simon. Think it was a foul. Again. Fell to Murphy, took a very good shot. But yeah, I think it was a free kick. Anyway. So I don't think it would have counted. Yeah, I mean, Spencer's taking her time as well with it. He didn't know rush.
Oh, yeah. Sure, close to the fabled 10 rating on football. 9.7. Hemp with a 9.5 as well. Impressive numbers. Yeah, not quite able to get that fabled, that exclusive of 10
both
rating.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Both sides hit. I mean, I have no words to describe what I'm currently watching.
Game ahead is going on the
gets
pitch.
It out Artinen, then it's headed on by
Someone just bring it down the floor.
Blinkhilder tries to wriggle out of whatever this is, and there's a free kick in there. I think the ref in pain watching.
Didn't know which way to go, just blew the whistle, just stop the game. Let the players work out for themselves.
Kennedy. Now Kasperai. Kasperai back to goalkeeper Keating.
Back-to-back clean sheets for Keating then, in back-to-back starts.
We're interested to see who starts at the weekend and intrigued to see who starts Chelsea. Do you think the return of Keating has Chelsea in mind?
Potentially.
A better shot stopper?
Potentially. I mean, yeah, as you say, Wednesday was Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? I think I said both.
Tuesday. I think I've said Wednesday quite a bit, to be fair, but it is definitely Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday will be interesting to see what kind of side plays there, and as you say, the Chelsea selection will be absolutely critical.
Indeed. Most important game of the season coming up next Saturday: Chelsea versus Manchester City.
And Kasparai is down here. Is it? Hopefully, it's briefly for Man City's sake. Just caught by Rasa in the challenge. She's up, and they're having a laugh. So I think they're all right.
No one knows what the ref's given here.
Should be a City throw.
And it is. Kasparai back to Kennedy. Now Keating.
Yeah, I think Tottenham have just... At 2-0, they stood in the game. Just ran away from in that, there's a 3-minute spell where City scored twice, and that was that.
Hasegawa. Coons lose it in there, and here comes Tottenham. Then Raso takes aim from range. Test Keating. First shot at target on the game, and Keating makes a save.
There we go. So that's what they needed, though.
Coming to have a shot.
Yeah.
Trying to make Keating make a save. That's the first of the evening.
How's it taken 87 minutes to have a shot on target?
Yeah.
That doesn't matter who you're playing. Just, yeah, wow. Especially for the side who've scored the joint second most goals in the league.
Well, that's the thing I was saying earlier. I think that number's really inflated. They scored 4 against a Palace side who weren't really acquainted with the league yet. They got 2 goals against Liverpool absolutely handed to them.
2 goals against Villa, which were...
Well, exactly. And I think you look at the circumstances, and I actually think Tottenham's season paints them quite well. You look at the West Ham game most recently. There's an own goal from Kamir Says. That impacts points and those goals. 7 points on the board, you can't argue against it, but you do feel that it is somewhat flattering them.
Yeah.
Which is worrying. Very worrying for Tottenham.
100%. Yeah, they have to, they'll reflect on this to go again next week. Who's up next weekend for Tottenham? They need to start. They just need things. They need to get consistency. They're finding it very hard to get consistent results at the moment.
Yeah.
Just get a run, even if you just staying unbeaten for 3-4 on the bounce is absolutely crucial.
Ball in behind, Martin Thomas has something to attack with. Kennedy wins it back though.
Yeah, good defending from Kennedy. You'd expect this. You'd think there's probably the same centre back partnership on Tuesday. With Alexandre out, and this is
and there being no other options because they lost Houghton, Morgan this summer and didn't replace them. I just have no words for what City's recruitment was. To be fair,
you'd expect a lot of players on the pitch now to be the ones starting on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, Lazelle, someone who can cover at centre back, so that's unfortunate. Chance on Murphy into the side next. She's come on, look really bright.
Really
good. Bright.
Cutting inside, causing a lot of problems.
When we speak about Poppy Pritchard as the future of City's attack, Murphy really making a name for herself with some of her chances tonight.
Yeah.
It's just a shame they haven't gone in.
And again, if she plays Tuesday, there's a high opportunity she can get on the score sheet.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Rebecca Spencer then to build up from the back. A reminder that we are live this Sunday. Early kick-off, Chelsea versus Liverpool, the 12:30 game. And then Manchester United versus Aston Villa in the evening, 6:30. Join us for a 7:15 kick-off, I believe.
Yes.
So, yeah. Big day on Sunday. It's weird though, I think it's the first, or maybe the second weekend since the opener that we have had only 4 games on WSL Sunday. 5 minutes left of this game then of additional time.
Yeah, it's...
Obviously both these games played on Friday night to accommodate for their Tuesday night Champions League fixtures.
Yeah.
And we are going to have to see further fixture movement because of Bayern Arsenal looking like it needs to be moved and just chaos.
It's weird to have a day between. I was
surprised to see. I know they did the TV picks ages ago, but I was surprised to see this as the TV pick over Arsenal Brighton. I have to say. Also surprised they didn't put this on tonight and then Arsenal Brighton on Saturday or something like that.
Yeah.
But alas, and then Chelsea, who are playing on
brilliant from Murphy.
Wednesday still have to play on Sunday, which is fine. I don't know how really have an issue.
I think it'll
it,
also be to do using the grounds as well, won't it?
ball in, that's headed away. Shot from Kelly, and that bundles wide. Well, to be fair, it's away at Anfield, isn't it?
Wise.
The Liverpool Chelsea game.
Oh right.
I don't know when our Liverpool's men's side are playing. I can have a look. That could explain it. They are at home, to be fair, on that Saturday. So that would dictate that.
Yeah.
Good point. But they could also play at the Totally Wicked Stadium.
Also, in terms of the reason tonight.
I think it is at the Totally Wicked Stadium.
What's the Totally Wicked Stadium?
No, I think it might be where Brighton played. No, I think that's where Liverpool played last season. Anyway, it's now called the St Helens Stadium.
Yeah, they moved.
Or it might be where. Oh, they have moved. Yeah, I think last season they played at the Totally Wicked Stadium.
Oh. But also in terms of the
Totally Wicked.
Incredible. There's a stoppage here. Not sure what is there changes coming.
One says I really like Murphy's effort. She's shown more in about 10-20 minutes here than Kelly's shown. Yeah. So give her a shot. She's playing well. Don't know what they're checking here. I don't know what's going on.
Is there we got a communication problem? No, it's a similar problem.
Someone's just running around off the pitch looking for a water bottle. Play on, and we do now. Here's Greenwood.
Don't know what she's looking for. I mean, look at it's a back seven.
Oh, they have just had a player go off, to be fair.
Oh yeah.
In Sunderland, and we don't know when she come back. So, yeah, one back though by Neville, and here comes Raso. But it is one back again by Kelly, and then I don't really know what's going on.
I don't know how Raso's been found by Kelly there because Kelly's ahead of her.
Tashi says, I feel sorry for footballers sometimes because they have to play. They have to still play even if they get battered.
Someone's cut her knee open.
Yeah, that is sport though, isn't it, Tashi? It's hard. You hate being in that position. Harry, as someone who's been in that position before, how does it feel when your team is down by a number of goals? I can't relate, unfortunately, in this conversation.
I mean, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Because
as a manager, I can relate. To be fair,
because there's not much you can do. And you just keep feeling like the barrage. Do get...
But the chance at Tottenham dealt with, though, by Kasperai.
Well, it will be a corner.
Should be bonus points, really. That's a crucial block.
I'll take them.
For your wall. We've got that clean sheet, at least.
Yeah, that's a good start.
For now. Don't want to jinx it.
A lot of points coming on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, big intervention for the right back. City trying to hold on to their clean sheet.
I'm on 42, and I believe Shaw's still got 3 bonuses to come, so that'll be another 42. 6. And potentially Rord, could be on bonuses.
I'm on 20.
I imagine Shaw will take 3 or 2. Hemp will take 2 or 3. And
I can't believe Fox came off at 56.
Chance for Neville, flicked on in there, and Keating claims. That's why I benched her. I just knew. I got Fox on 1 and Bergs on -1 on my bench.
Well, my other defender was Olis Slagers.
Well, I made 2 transfers this week. I brought in Katrina Vea.
Well, everyone makes 2 transfers. 2 free transfers.
You know, I don't have to make them all the time. Sometimes my team's really good. I brought in Katrina Vea because, to be fair though, with the fact that I kind of do need to make your transfers because there's so few teams in the league. It's very difficult for any team to have a good fixture run.
Yeah.
You need like Chelsea, Arsenal. Chelsea, City, maybe Arsenal, maybe United players who are fairly consistent because you know they're going to win most weeks.
Yeah.
And then just sort of rotate when the smaller sides have nice games. So I've just brought in Katrina Vea because they've got Everton this week. I think West Ham coming up.
Yeah.
So that's quite a nice run.
I brought in
Keys over T-Bow.
No.
Because neither of them... Because T-Bow wasn't playing and Keys is visionary. As is Vea, actually.
Yeah, I brought in Chosanote, who is visionary, and Gurrighton.
Not visionary.
That's it.
That is full time. Here at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City 4, Tottenham 0. Emphatic win for the citizens. The leaders stay on top as Tottenham continue to languish. A big victory. Villarn with things to think about. Taylor with a triumph to celebrate with his sights set on their midweek Champions League fixture against Hammarby. A big win then, and that means City guarantee staying top of the WSL for another game week at least.
Yeah, big win for City, much needed. A brilliant performance, especially from that player there, Lauren Hemp. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant again. Shaw with a hat-trick, Hemp with a hat-trick assist, superb from Manchester City. And yeah, foot forward now. 2 big games that are coming up. Hammarby in the UWCL on Tuesday, and then Chelsea away on Saturday. Absolutely critical. They're going into it with 6 wins on the bounce. They're unbeaten so far. Both sides are unbeaten so far. One of them will either both of them have to drop points or one of them loses.
Indeed. And well, speaking of Chelsea, do join us on Sunday for Liverpool versus Chelsea at 12:15 for a 12:30 kickoff, and Manchester United versus Aston Villa. Join us at 6:30 for a 6:45 kickoff. Other than that, we will see you on Sunday. Thank you very much for watching. We are currently on 1,899 subscribers.
Ooh,
so if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please make sure to do so. We can hit 1.9k tonight. That'd be greatly appreciated. Other than that, we're back on Sunday. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. Look out for videos in the week, and we will see you next time.